Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Football Stooges, the stupidest way to cover football imaginable.
And boys, it's stupid.
It was a very crazy week of football this week. We had just recently the second round of the college football playoff has concluded. The NFL is going into its final regular season week. The playoffs are right around the corner, so we have a lot to cover and a lot to get to very quickly. But it's going to be an interesting episode. It's going to be kind of backwards in the way we do it. I got home very late from work today, so we're going to have to kind of do it in backwards order so some people can get to bed because it's quite late. So, without further ado, the man who is now going to attend in the next 24 hours the second best bowl in all of bowl history, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. It's Macedon.
Okay, I will admit the Pop-Tarts Bowl was actually cool.
I have something to show you about that because the Pop-Tarts Bowl is amazing.
But
it is chaotically amazing.
Oh, I'm gonna be trying to bundle up tomorrow too, because nighttime.
Just
in
listen,
the mountains,
mayonnaise, just a hot bowl of mayonnaise, that'll be great. You have to show. I've heard that the Duke's Mayo Bowl has really good concessions, so you'll have to at least
just nothing but mayonnaise.
Well, it's at Bank of America Stadium, so it's in Charlotte. So
I mean, yeah, I would check what they have. I don't know because the Pop-Tart Bowl had some pretty crazy stuff too. So next up, a man who is shipping Jepson's Malort to the East Coast. It's Mamba.
You still need to send me your address.
I already did. Check your fucking DMs.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, 308 Negro Arroyo
He doesn't
Lane,
read.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh,
497 North Parker Drive.
How the fuck did I not see this?
He doesn't like your DMs.
I guess.
All right, next up, a man who
He doesn't like it when Irish people slide into his DMs.
Yeah, who I think he got new headphones. Squirrelami.
I did get new headphones.
Yeah, they're glowing.
Yeah, well, the other ones glow
Are
too,
they?
but these ones go out to the front.
I thought you had. I couldn't tell because your green screen is cutting it off. It almost looks just.
Yeah, because my NVIDIA broadcast doesn't work, so I have to use Discord.
I know how that works. Look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, the man who.
But anyways, I got beer.
Yeah, and the man in the next week or two is probably going to experience the worst taste known to man. It's K-Duff.
Fuck you all.
Yeah. We'll quickly go to that right away. The Fantasy Football League has concluded. And I did it! On revenge! Oh, I was able to get second place last year and finally came in first this year. I had Joe Burrow in the last 2 weeks of the Fantasy Football Week, or the last 2 out of 3 weeks of the regular season, so that helped. Last place, K-Duff did lose the game to, if we go to matchup
Mamba
recaps. Yeah.
It was Mamba.
So, why does it do this? This GP whatever?
I honestly thought I could actually pull out the upset, but fucking Scary Terry just didn't do shit.
Jonathan Taylor saved me.
Yeah,
Look at the
I had the biggest. I had the biggest blowout.
No, it's showing yours.
Yeah, what the hell?
What?
Go to
I'm
matchups.
just trying to look at the actual here we
Go
go.
to. I was like, go to matchups.
Yeah.
Go to
You can pick the
week
week.
17. And then
Go back
down,
a week.
Go down.
Hit
go down.
the left arrow.
There we go.
And then go down.
Right.
So no, this wasn't it. It was supposed to be week 17. There it is.
Yeah,
okay.
Go down.
So these were the matchups here. So I was playing in the first place game against Macedon. We can actually see it right here. We had some key performers. Obviously, Burrow for me, as well as Bijan Robinson. And Laporta put in a good game at 15 points. Los Angeles defense did very well for me, and everyone else kind of contributed as best they could. Moody was a little bit underperforming, but Macedon had some great performances from Mike Evans and a great performance from Philadelphia. However, James Conner and
Got hurt.
Camille Fairburn did not perform well at all. Really,
Yeah, Houston has been not ending the year on a high
You can't
note.
perform when you don't get a chance to kick.
Yeah, didn't get a chance to kick, so that was horrible for them. But the Philadelphia defense did try to pick up some of the slack there, but there was too much from Burrow.
Show the bench. Show the bench.
The bench, yeah. The bench for me was kind of embarrassing because that's about 66 points right there between two players that I didn't start.
Oof.
But at the same time, if you're going to tell me going into that week in a championship game, you were going to start T. Higgins and Malik Neighbors over Amon-Ra and Justin Jefferson, no.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then not really anything crazy. Jordan Addison had a good game, would have been a good spot to put it for James Conner there. But moving over to the game that decided who takes the homemade Malort shot, Mamba was able to win. Rough performance on Mamba's side from DJ Moore, Brendan Aubrey, and Minnesota's defense, but really made up for it with Bucky Irving, Jonathan Taylor, Brian Thomas Jr., and Jane Danos did amazing. Then
I kind of looked out a little bit with suddenly picking up Zach Charbonnet before the week started, but
yeah,
why the fuck did they not use Terry McLaurin more?
Yeah, Terry McLaurin, that was rough. Only 1 point for him.
That probably could have saved me at least a little more of the pain, but yeah.
And then Muzzy's team,
who was on my bench,
did not perform very well. I just don't think he cared because he didn't swap out CeeDee Lamb, or didn't see. And then Joe Mixon had a bad day. Kincaid didn't perform great.
I think Lamb was like a late scratch, so I don't think he has time.
Look at that defense. Look at that defensive pickup right there.
Miami's defense. Yeah, that was a great performance there by them. And yeah, Lamar did very well as well. So yeah, I was able to win. So we have the rule that the loser for fantasy football has to do homemade Malort, which is basically everyone picks a shot and you have to make one shot of it in the glass and just swig the whole thing. So Muzzy chose.
We'll just cut in my.
Yeah, Muzzy chose Smirnoff.
Oh God.
Let's go from from bottom to top, and as far as the standings go. So I guess Mambo, what was your choice again?
So it's either going to be Malort or Everclear.
So yeah,
Everclear is just stronger vodka.
So he's probably shipping him Malort. Muzzy said, as we said, Smirnoff. Gorlami? Jägermeister. All right.
Smirnoff, Malort or Everclear, Jägermeister.
Yeah. Macedon.
Jim Beam. Jim Beam.
Okay.
When he said that, I originally thought he said Jim Bean, as in like beans mixed with vodka.
No, for the longest time too. I thought it was called Jim Bean, not Jim Beam.
Well, also, I accidentally hit N instead of M.
Yeah, autocorrect.
Because I was working at the time when you asked, and then it all kept on trying to autocorrect. Also, I was like, all right, autocorrect's being an ass.
And so I was looking at maybe getting the Doritos cheese vodka, but that was like $60. So I decided, no, we'll go with Old Bay. So Old Bay vodka.
How much vodka?
Old Bay vodka.
Yeah, Old Bay flavored vodka. Yeah. All right, so that is the conclusion of our Fantasy Football League. Another great year for everybody. Let's go on to our crossover grid. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Wes
Welker, yeah. Wee Welker.
Wee Welker.
What's his name? Edge rusher.
Von Miller?
Bradley Chubb.
Oh
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I forgot he was a Ram.
Return for a touchdown, Champ Bailey.
Let's go Pat Surtain. Never mind.
I wanted to go for the
I don't know about Colts, Dolphins.
Stephon Gilmore.
And
yeah, that works.
Sack and defense.
Jim Leonard.
Brian.
Yeah, that could work. Mike Hilton.
Bing.
Okay.
He's a nickel cornerback for the Bengals. Blitzes a lot. Okay. So one playoff sack defense. We can do. Let's do Jack Youngblood.
Aaron. Oh, I was about to say Aaron Donald.
Yeah. And one playoff sack on defense, Ndamukong Suh.
Okay, thank you. You trying to spell that? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Colts and Colts and Dolphins and Colts and Rams. Falk.
Oh, for Colts Rams.
Yep. And then Colts Dolphins.
Frank Gore wasn't a Dolphin.
Was he?
He wasn't a Colt. No, he wasn't a Colt. I know that.
Nope, not right for
Patrick. He never played for the Colts.
This is a tough one. I don't know many crossovers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Colt, Dolphins.
Saturday never played for the Dolphins.
He played for the Packers though for a while, which is kind of weird.
I remember that bowl game when he was playing for the North, and then he
went over to give Peyton Manning one more snap. That was cool.
Wait, did Frank Gore ever play for Miami?
I think he did, but he never played for the Colts.
That worked.
Oh wait,
Frank Gore's favorite. Vontae Davis was another one.
I literally just
hold on. When did Frank Gore play for the Colts?
Vontae Davis.
All right, let's look at Colts and Dolphins.
Oh, right after San Fran.
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, interesting.
Frank Gore.
Brissett would have worked. I forgot about that.
Ryan Lewis.
Kenyon Drake.
Matt Bryant.
I'm recognizing almost any of these names. Earl Morrill, I think.
Yeah. Matt Happ. Kenyon Drake. Chris Reed.
Philip Lindsay.
Kiki Kuti.
Yeah.
Kiki Kote, I believe is how it's pronounced, but yes.
Kote, yeah. There we go. All right, another completed there. I'm going to go quickly into college football. We'll do KDF news, and then we're going to go straight to the Tank Bowl, then our predictions, and then I think Mamba and maybe a few others are going to say good night because it's late, and then we will move on to some of the.
We're not going to play my. We're not going to play my game.
Well, yeah, I'm going to let you introduce that. That's
what is your game?
So that just falls into the Tank Bowl shit. So we'll get.
Yes, but anyway, it's not just for Mastodon.
Anyway, the bowl season. So we already covered a lot of these. First round. Where did we stop last time?
We stopped after Thursday.
These two were happening, the Rate and the Ventures Bowl. So the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, Oklahoma and Navy. The SEC is undefeated in hypothetical games, and you just lost to the Naval Academy, Oklahoma. Wow.
I mean, did you really think Navy's gonna?
Hey, at least Vanderbilt won
an Armed Forces Bowl.
Yeah,
at least
something.
The Railroad Men won.
At least Vanderbilt won.
The Birmingham Bowl between Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt, which Vanderbilt won. This is a rivalry game. These were both SEC teams at one point. Well, Vanderbilt still is, but that was actually a battle. I believe it's like the battle for like the gold cowbell or something. So I don't know if it was there, but this was a rivalry.
Yes,
game.
It was. It was.
Yeah. So
it was there.
Oh, it was there? That's cool.
Yeah.
So, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Texas Tech and Arkansas. Arkansas won that game. The Holiday Bowl by DirecTV. Syracuse beat Washington State. The Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. USC beat Texas A&M. Again, clap it up for the SEC. Still undefeated in hypothetical playoff games.
Sucking ESPN's cock.
Yeah, not getting anything done.
Yep.
The Wasabi Fenway Bowl. What the fuck? UConn beat North Carolina.
It's based off of some sort of like tech company in Boston. I don't know
what the fuck is up with UConn football? They weren't even FBS like a few years ago.
They're independent.
They're independent right now, and they're just kicking people.
Yep.
They're not like Kennesaw State like rolling over. They're
wait a second.
Bitches.
Is the Wasabi Fenway Bowl the can I see the logo of it? Because it might be these. Like,
it's the one they play at Fenway Park, yes, but
no, that company, they do. Yeah, because I actually in BMG we use them for data backups, like remote data backups.
The Bad Boy Murph Pinstripe Bowl, Nebraska beat Boston College. The Isleta New Mexico Bowl, TCU blew out Louisiana. And then the second greatest, well, maybe third greatest because the Rose Bowl is the granddaddy of them all. The Pop-Tart Bowl. Iowa State beat Miami by 1. The European mind cannot comprehend the Pop-Tart Bowl. Like, just look at this. Reanimated Pop-Tarts.
What is that edge-esque opening?
Pop-Tarts bungee jumping off of Pop-Tarts coming out of championship trophy. Human-sized Pop-Tarts.
Follow your dreams. I want to be 8. Yep.
It's just like scared of burning. Look at that. That's edible. That's edible.
They know how to.
People say Americans have no culture. That is the first thing I'll point at. Fuck the Statue of Liberty. Fuck anything to do with like arts and culture. The Pop-Tart Bowl is the pinnacle of society, and you all know it.
You need to send me that gift for that video. Jesus Christ.
The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dr. Dre and Snoop.
That name is still fucking
Miami of Ohio beat
ridiculous to
Colorado
me.
State. The Military Bowl, East Carolina beat NC State. The Alamo Bowl,
the Mormons showed up.
Colorado lost to BYU big time by 22 points. That is not good for Shatur standards or Travis Hunter's draft stock, but
no, it is not.
This is the third time that a in-conference bowl. It was two teams from the same conference in the bowl game.
You know, maybe Shadur Sam was just warming up for when he goes to the New York Giants, because he certainly played like a Giants quarterback.
The Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl, Army beat LA Tech. The Trans Perfect Music City Bowl, Missouri beat Iowa. This is one of the only times where we've seen SEC team.
I know we've
10 team.
I know we've talked about these names. Just they always sound so weird.
The ReliQuest Bowl, Michigan beat Alabama when Michigan was resting basically all of its draft ready players. And Alabama still lost.
Just hang up that computer call. Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical.
Anyways,
Mark Henry,
your defense was on fire, though.
So what happened was in the first quarter, I was watching the game. First quarter, things are happening. The game's being played. There's a bad turnover by Alabama. Michigan gets it, can't score a touchdown, but gets a field goal. We have Dominic Zvada is an amazing kicker. He'll be I think he could be drafted just as high as Jake Moody next year when he goes. But then the most torrential Indian monsoon rain season happened, where you could barely see the field from the fucking camera, and Alabama crumbled. They literally, the ball got snapped. Jalen Hurts put two hands on it, and like a greased pig, it went straight up. And then we grabbed it and ran it back and almost scored a touchdown off that. And that's the thing. I think Michigan scored, one touchdown the whole game? Maybe two?
One.
I think one touchdown. The rest of it were kicks. People were saying Alabama should have been in the playoffs. You're on crack. This Michigan team is horrible. I'm sorry. This Michigan team is one of the worst Michigan teams that I've seen in a long time.
I point back to when Florida State last year said they should have been in the playoffs. No, you shouldn't have.
Michigan not only wasn't playing any of their best talent from this year, they lost all their talent from last year, which were all seniors, graduated, and went to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give a caveat for the Florida State one. They were undefeated last year. They won all their games. Even in the conference champion.
Yeah, Florida State Alabama should have been in. They just
because of actual record.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So then moving on, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, Louisville beat Washington. Excuse me,
Louisville,
1 point. Yeah. She's at Citrus Bowl again. Illinois beat South Carolina. SEC.
There was some weird stuff happening in that game.
So what happens is, Greg. So there was some moments in this bowl. So obviously, the head coach for South Carolina, Beamer, is a zany guy, really out there, and he subs a lot during his play. So in college, whenever you sub on offense, the defense is allowed to sub in as well. The defense doesn't have to worry about the play clock. They just have to sub in enough time. So what happens is that Beamer was subbing in a lot, and then Bieniemy saw that, the coach for Illinois, and was like, oh, we'll just sub in, but just wait 3 seconds. And that meant that the play clock would get down so low that there were multiple delay of game penalties called on South Carolina, to the point in which Beamer was furious. Then an Illinois player gets injured close to the South Carolina sideline. Beamer goes out and checks on him, sees that he's okay. He's the player's walking back, and as Bieniemy is walking away from the South Carolina sideline, he does the substitution signal multiple times.
No, he was walking towards.
Walking towards, then starts walking away. Does it right at looking like deadpan directly in the eyes of Beamer, and they just immediately just started jawing at each other, and Beamer had to be held back by multiple coaches. It got ugly. Bad.
Well, there was something said that some of the refs and some rules people was kind of saying that. That Illinois could have got flagged for taking so long for the substitution too.
Possibly, yes. But
because there could be
defensive delay game.
Yeah, Beamer substitutes way too much though. It's getting kind of crazy. Some of his sets are ridiculous. Moving on from that, LSU blew out Baylor. This score is not as close as the game actually was in the Texas Bowl. Now, the college football playoff quarterfinals. Penn State beat Boise State big. Boise State just could not Boise State's defense could not handle it, and Genty had a horrible game. Genty fumbled twice, did not look good at all. A much better looking running back was Cam Scadaboo, who nearly pulled Arizona out to beat Texas. There was a late targeting call that was picked up that was not supposed to be picked up at all. It was a horrible missed call. It was a helmet directly to the face mask of another player. Helmet to the crown of another player. It was a horrible call to be picked up. That didn't allow Arizona to get a first down with less than 2 minutes remaining and kick a field goal to win. Instead, the game goes into overtime, and Texas is able to rally late and win. And then the Rose Bowl, Ohio State beat the piss out of Oregon. And something that no one saw. No one saw this coming. Ohio State, I believe, was up almost 21-0 at one point. It was bad.
I remember. I was working that. I was working that night. I was watching the game. I could not believe it was happening.
Horrible. I mean, this is a horrible season for Oregon. Besides a Big Ten championship, you have nothing to show for this. Dylan Gabriel didn't win Heisman.
They had everything going for them.
You had everything, and you just absolutely pissed it into the wind. And then moving on to the Sugar Bowl, Notre Dame and Georgia, which just concluded today. This had to be postponed, sadly, because of a terrorist attack in downtown New Orleans the morning of the incident. So our condolences go out to the people that lost their lives during that. And the game then happened today, obviously, which is Thursday, Friday for you people, obviously, now watching the video. But Notre Dame was able to beat Georgia in what is also an upset, even though Georgia was out their starting quarterback. But Gunnar Stockton played amazing. Their backup quarterback did everything needed of him. It was not his fault at all. There was definitely some Notre Dame turnovers that happened that were mostly fumbles that caused a lot of the issues to go on. The reason this was at 4 p.m. is because at 8 p.m. you can't move the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl for the Sugar Bowl. No. The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl is happening right now between Duke and Ole Miss.
And Ole Miss is putting belt to ass on Duke right now. It's
really, I kind of expected that. So, obviously, a couple more minor bowls. Then you have two semifinals: Notre Dame versus Penn State in Florida for the Orange Bowl. And then the Cotton Bowl Classic, Texas playing at home in the Cotton Bowl against Ohio State. Then you have the College Football Playoff National Championship in Atlanta, Georgia, followed up by, obviously, the Shrine and Senior Bowl. So bowl season nearly concluded.
I'm sorry, I'm reading this. Rebels 52, Duke 20. Fucking hell.
Yeah, dude. I would love to see a Ohio State Notre Dame game.
So this is the bracket. Yeah, Ohio State and Notre Dame. I definitely, at this point, I'm kind of favoring Ohio State and Notre Dame in the situation. I do think Texas can win, and I'm kind of rooting for Texas, honestly.
Texas.
I don't blame you.
I don't want Ohio State to. I mean, I was fine with them winning one. Also, beating Oregon was kind of interesting, but like now, I don't want to see them win a national championship. I think Notre Dame winning one would be interesting. I wouldn't be mad if Penn State won it. I don't really have any animosity against them. I just know James Franklin can't win big games, so I doubt it'll happen. And then I don't think Texas will win with Quinn Ewers under quarterback. I think Arch Manning is the option best for them, but you can't.
Notre Dame is full of cowards. They deserve to lose.
Here's something that's wild: the number 1 and the number 2 teams are not in.
This is
something top four. All top four. So Penn State.
Well, the seeding is weird
all top
because
four.
of the.
The seeding is weird because they want to incentivize conference championships, which I get. But how much does that bye give you? Is the bye good or is the bye bad? I think it's good. You just have to make sure your coaching is good enough to continue to get these players ready and keep them up to speed and practice to go in and play this team who played a week before you.
I mean, it's funny because, like, essentially the last 4 is not going to be the number 1 or the number 2 seed, which is Oregon or Georgia. Like, they would have had an easy, like, if it was the old format, they would have an easy way in. That's what I like about this.
I mean, any given Sunday, anybody, or Saturday in this case, anyone can win. So,
yeah,
I mean, we were a play away. We were a missed call away from seeing Cam Scadaboo and the Arizona State Sun Devils playing Ohio State in Texas. But no, it's now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, how much does the bye week matter? Like, I don't know.
Also, Georgia's starting QB was out. But
yeah, how much do you value? Georgia's starting QB was out, and obviously the number 3 seed was the winner of the Mountain West, and number 4 is the winner of the Big 12. Both of those conferences are Group of 5, not Power 5. So, like, the dichotomy between a top team in a top conference and a bottom team in a bottom conference in the college football league in just FBS is insane. The difference between like Ohio State or Texas and a Purdue or a I'm trying to think of another horrible team like Kennesaw State is the difference is UVA. Insane, or UVA is insane.
I mean, the thought process was that the conference championship games would add more weight to it to the buys.
If you don't do that, there's no point for conferences. And then if there's no point for conferences, it's a madhouse. There has to be some form of, like, control. If you don't make it so that you win a conference championship, teams wouldn't play in their conference championships. If the conference championship didn't matter, and if you lose the conference championship, it doesn't matter towards your college football playoff standing, you would have seen Oregon go into that college football championship or that Big Ten championship against Penn State, and they would have started all true freshmen. They would have said, screw it. We're saving ourselves for the college football playoff. We're not going to get anyone hurt. Like, college football conference championships need to matter. Conference championship trophies need to matter. So, but yeah, Final Four for college football. Ohio State, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State. All right, let's move on now. I won't do the intro and everything. Well, no, actually I will because I forgot. We're going to do KF News first, then we'll move on to the Take Bowl. Oh, what the fuck? What this guy? This
wouldn't be a regular season finale without some technical difficulties. Anyway, KF News starting out as always. With the injury news, starting out with a lot of out for the years because it's the end of the season. A lot of these guys are not going to be playing in season finales. Starting out, Jets offensive tackle Olu Fashanu. He's going under the knife for plantar fasciitis, so he's not going to be playing in their finale. Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence will not play with a Lisfranc injury. Bears guard Ryan Bates is in concussion protocol. Chargers safety Marcus May with an ankle injury. Seahawks linebacker Travis Gibson with an ankle injury. Texans safety Jimmy Ward with a foot injury. Guard Shaq Mason with a knee injury. 49ers linebacker Dre Greenlaw with a calf strain. Colts cornerback Trey Flowers with a shoulder injury. Dolphins defensive end Bradley Cho with a knee injury. Panthers running back Chubba Hubbard with a calf strain as well. Browns wide receiver Cedric Tillman is in concussion protocol. Bengals running back Chase Brown sprained his ankle. And Packers cornerback Jair Alexander is out with knee surgery. And some of these teams that did make the playoffs will not. This means they will also not be available for the playoffs, or at least some of them. As for short to long-term stuff, Steelers already in, but cornerback Joey Porter Jr. will not be playing with a minor PCL injury. And as for questionables, Buccaneers tight end K. Dotton with a knee injury. Ravens running back Justice Hill is in concussion protocol. Packers wide receiver Christian Watson with a knee injury. Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who might also miss what might be his last game ever with an MCL injury. Eagles quarterback Kenny Pickett finished their game. Actually, he did not finish the game. He had Tanner McGee come in. He broke his rib, so he's questionable. 49ers, yeah, he was playing on a broken rib. That's crazy. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy with an elbow injury. And the Lions, they need about as much help as they can get with the playoffs, and they might be getting it back with linebacker Alex Anzalone finally returning from the broken arm he suffered back in Week 11. So hopefully that helps them out. As we go into signings and re-signings.
Help them out at this point on defense.
Yeah.
Are they Bobby Boucher?
Just draft Happy Gilmore in case Jake Bates needs a new kicker. Wait, why did I say Happy Gilmore? I don't know why. It's been late. Signings and re-signing stuff. The Buccaneers are having a reunion with linebacker Shaq Barrett. He is returning home after he was released in the offseason and signed with the Dolphins. And Browns, for the third season in a row, have restructured quarterback Watson's contract, allowing them to both bring in competition for Watson at the QB role, but to spread dead money if he stays in Cleveland through 2026, opposed to the major cap hit he's going to be when his contract's over in 27. He's still going to be making about $90 million over the next 2 years. It'd be a cap hit of 72.9. But just reminding you how shit this fucking signing is. As for trades, releases, and retirements, the Cowboys have released running back Ezekiel Elliott. In a release, they say is to give him a chance to sign with a playoff-bound team, get some playoff glory before what might be his final season too. At this point, the Patriots are releasing defensive end Yannick Ngakoue. That signing basically did not help us too much, and not exactly a release or anything, but Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson has made a statement suggesting that if Aaron Rodgers returns to the Jets next season, he's out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is pretty wild. It is. The question is, if he goes out, where would he go? And is there anybody that the Jets can get to replace him? Because you've seen the dumpster fire that the Jets are. Especially considering they were actually interviewing Ron Rivera for their head coaching vacancy today. Do you think anybody's going to want to go with the Jets even if Rodgers stays around by next year?
Again, Aaron Rodgers for Deshaun Watson, 1-for-1 trade. Who says no?
Multiple people. I can already tell you, multiple people will say no to that.
Department.
Yep. Even the 17-year-old running the Jets right now would be like, nah, I don't want a pedophile on our team. Anyway, yeah, I've got a few things. Clinches, Packers, Commanders, Rams, and Chargers have made it in. Eliminations, the Seahawks, and as we'll get to in the most hilarious fashion, the Colts are also out. Vikings and Lions have had their game this week, flexing the Sunday Night Football spot, making the contest that will determine both the NFC North clincher and the number one seed of the NFC into a primetime game. Former NFL broadcasting commentator Greg Gumbel passed away this week at the age of 78 following a battle with cancer. He was involved in sports broadcasting for over 50 years, calling multiple seasons worth of NFL games, including 3 Super Bowls. He was the first African-American to commentate during a Super Bowl during Super Bowl 23, and also served alongside broadcasting legends like Chris Berman, Teddy Bradshaw, Jim Nantz, and others. Rest in peace to him. Hall of Fame running back Eric Dickerson is doubtful that Saquon Barkley is going to break the single-season rushing record, despite the fact that if Barkley sets only 101 rushing yards this week, he will break the record.
He's not playing.
He's already not playing?
They did say they're going to rest all the starters.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, because
so
that was a big talk about it, and then I saw something. It's like, yeah, just rest him. It's like, I want him to get the record, but...
Well, there was one record broken today, and Lob, get ready to brace for this one.
Oh.
Raiders tight end Brock Bowers has set the single-season record for most receptions and passing yards by a rookie tight end with 1,087 yards. And for you to realize how long that record has stood, it was first set in 1961 by Bears tight end Mike Ditka.
Oh my God! I knew that was happening. Oh.
Yeah.
I feel old.
Yep, you should. Let's see some other few things. Mike Ditka's rookie tight end passing yard record got broken by Brock Bowers.
Said that
that's
once
what you
already.
Missed. Anyway. Oh, I thought that's what Mamba was saying. What to?
What?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. Browns consultant Mike Vrabel has departed the team after his agreement with the team expired this week. This adds another prospective head coaching hire to this year's market. Fire Mayo, bring him home. Fire Mayo, bring him home. 49ers owner Jed York has confirmed that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will be back next season. Let's see. Some nicer news, as much as I want to end on. Actually, I'll save the nicer news for last because just got to get this one out of the way because it's sad. As we discussed, the terror attack in New Orleans, multiple people killed. Unfortunately, some of that included a few people in the sports industry. First is a member of the Saints and NBA Pelicans video production team, Matt Tendonaro. And sadly also confirmed by his brother, TCU wide receiver Jack Beck, Princeton University wide receiver Tiger Beck also was one of the victims of the attack. He played 3 years at the Ivy League school, recording 825 yards and 3 touchdowns. So rest in peace to him and Tendonaro as well. And to end on slightly nicer news, and I can't believe I'm thanking the Giants for this, but with their win over the Colts, the current owners, should the Bills win this week, of the first overall draft pick, is the New England Patriots.
Heyo.
Yeah. Travis Hunter, we're taking you first overall.
And you're
finally,
probably going to end up pulling a Belichick and drafting someone from like Holy Cross.
Don't you put that evil on me, Lobster. Don't you fucking put that evil on me. Anyway, and finally, congratulations to Commander Safety Jeremy Reeves, who proposed to his now fiancée Michaela after a Sunday Night Football win over the Falcons. That's all I got.
Thank you very much. One other piece of news, Lob news. Ladies and gentlemen, the XFL has reached a multi-year agreement with ESPN. 40 of their games will be on ESPN and ESPN Plus in February of 2023, as well as 2 playoff semifinals and the title game. So the entirety of the playoffs and most of the regular season will be on ESPN and their streaming platforms. Clap it up. A TV deal for the XFL, everybody. We'd love to see it.
Actually, yeah, that is actually
The Rock has brought the XFL back to Disney.
Awesome for them to have. And this is going to get so much more experience and exposure for them. And we get to stay on this site, hopefully, ESPN's site, to cover the games in the offseason. So that's
ESPN
great.
and ABC.
Yes, and ABC.
So
yeah, they're going to get some
maybe they'll actually get
cable shit. All right.
I know. It'll be great.
Let's go ahead and move on to the Tank Bowl. Macedon, why don't you take this away?
Okay, Titans, Jaguars, you're still saying. Raiders, you won. That means you lost, so you're staying. Giants, same thing. You won, so you lost. Bears, Jets, stay at Stinky. Saints, cringe.
You can move the Bears down. I won't feel bad if you did.
The Bears could be.
They're a bit better, I think. There's a fine line between them and those bottom 4.
I think they're trash, so it's all good.
Saints at cringe, Cleveland at better. Thing is, though, for Carolina, God, no, I'm gonna keep them at bad, but just because. Oh yeah, let's put the Colts into batter.
Oh,
whoa!
And Carolina out or in?
I'm gonna keep them in just because of their record, but it's like Bryce Young does look better, but yeah.
What do you think about the Cardinals? What are your thoughts?
They just missed the playoffs, and they're also kind of young. I don't think it's a bad situation for them. I kind of lope them in the same spot as like the Seahawks.
I mean, the Colts, they triggered McAfee.
McAfee got rid of his season tickets.
Yeah,
he's fighting with their management. Like, it's bad.
I know. If you triggered probably like one of the biggest guys in media that's still a fan of you, you definitely need to relook and reevaluate everything wrong with your team.
Dude, they triggered their fucking punter. You never trigger a punter.
Dude, that would be like if the Patriots did something so bad that Tom Brady was like, you know what, I unretire my jersey. Like, I don't get.
Jesus.
That's the extremity of it. Okay, so I'm gonna let Gorlami explain this next part because it's something he sent me.
All right. So what we got here, we got 8 slots. We got every division. I am going to personally sit out. You 4 are going to each get 2 picks. I'm going to pick on you randomly. You cannot pick your own division. All right.
What?
You pick a division to put it. You pick a division to put it 1 through 8th. So we're ranking the divisions. You cannot pick your own division.
So I can't pick the AFC North. Kadev can't pick the AFC East. Mamba can't pick the NFC North, and Masson can't pick the NFC East.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you will rank them, but you have to give people time to persuade you from putting it in your spot.
Okay. Go ahead.
So we're going to start with Mastodon.
Okay. NFC North, put it first.
I have no quarrel.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's been the more entertaining one to watch.
Yep.
AFC South, 8th.
Hold on.
Doing it one at a time?
No,
right?
No, we're going to go... Yeah, so then we're going to go KDUF.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we bring it back. We circle back to it.
Okay, I'm going to give the NFC South to 8.
NFC South.
Because that is
you could make an argument of the AFC. Okay, hold on. Because if you look at the AFC South, it's the Texans at 9-7, Colts at 7-9, Jaguars 4-12, Titans 3-13.
I thought you said you're not going to be part of it.
I'm I'm throwing statistics at you.
He's throwing statistics. That's fine. So
whereas the NFC South is 9-7, 8-8, 5-11, 4-12.
The biggest
yes, but at least somebody in the AFC South. My reasoning, at least somebody in the AFC South was able to clinch. From the NFC South, it looks like nobody wants to clinch this division.
Okay, how about this?
Baker.
Let's compare them piece by piece, okay? Across the board. The worst team in the AFC South and the worst team in the NFC South, the Panthers versus, I guess, is it the Jags or the Titans? Which one's worse?
Titans, because Titans lost.
Who wins between that?
Carolina.
Think Carolina?
Oh, come on. The Titans. Look at the Titans. Well, you want Levis.
So this is the AFC. So we got 1 point for the AFC, okay? Then if you look at the second worst teams, you got the Jaguars and you got the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Jaguars in that one, I think, over the Saints.
For worse or better?
Well, I mean, if they're healthy, I would take the Saints.
I don't know.
Even there. It's even there. Because Derek Carr still is there, and Alvin Kamara, and Taysom Hill, so you still got some talent. Jaguars, even with Trevor Lawrence, it's like, I don't know. So then after that, you have the third best team. It's the Colts, and we'll go with the Falcons right now, because they're, like, barely in the driver's seat. So, Colts-Falcons, I'm going to take the Falcons in that one.
Yeah, the Colts.
The Falcons in that one. So that's 2 for the NFC. The Colts do not look good. And then if you look at the Buccaneers or the Texans, I'm going to take the Buccaneers. So that means only one of those AFC teams beat that NFC team, and those 3 other AFC teams or NFC teams won. So that means I think
Carolina could beat Titans. Carolina could beat Titans.
Right. So I think it's this.
But at the end of the day, it's K-Duff's decision.
Correct.
Where do you want him?
So where do you want him?
8th it is.
Okay.
I'm sticking with 8th.
All right. Since Mama looks like he's sleeping, we're going to go with him. We're going to make Lob go last.
All right. Let's go with let's put the AFC South at 7.
Okay. I mean, if they're not 8th, they're 7th. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys want
honestly,
divisional rankings, I got them up, so I can let you know.
Yeah,
Lob, you're up.
Okay.
I'm up.
Lob is next.
Yep.
So I can't pick the. I mean, we all know where the AFC North's going, so that's. But I can't pick that, obviously. I
think you're thinking that.
You're thinking that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Many of these divisions are better. I think I'll go. I will take the. This is tough. I think I'll take the NFC East. I think I'll put them dead at 4th. Eagles are good. Commanders are good. But Giants suck. And Cowboys are mediocre.
Hold on.
2 playoff teams.
If you were going to do AFC North, where would you put them?
I would put them 2nd.
Okay. It's Eagles, Cowboys, I think both, and Washington beat the Steelers.
Browns beat the Giants. So if you compare them worst to worst, second worst to second worst, second best to second best, and best to best, Browns beat the Giants. Then the Bengals beat the Cowboys. The Bengals beat the Cowboys this year. That's a fact. Then I think the Ravens beat the Commanders. And then that leaves the Steelers versus... The Steelers played the Eagles. Yeah, and the Eagles won. That's 3-1 in favor of the AFC North.
Hold on. Let's see. Did they lose? Okay, so they barely lost their Ravens. Okay.
So yeah, I think the AFC North's better. I think putting them there is fine because I think you could also say, I mean, I think it's a toss-up between them here and maybe the AFC East because of the Bills is the only good team out of that division. So like, how much do you weight that over one of 2 good teams, 1 mediocre team, and 1 bad team, and 1 good team and 3 shit teams? I would say that maybe 2 shit teams, a mediocre team in the Dolphins, and then a good team in the Bills. So I think putting them there as 4th is fair. Is that good?
Yeah,
it's your choice.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
Well, no, I kind of also want to go with what people feel like. But anyway, back to Mastodon now, right?
Yep, back to Mastodon.
In that case, AFC East.
Sixth.
Okay. As you said, only the Bills are the decent one. Miami injury.
No, the Bills are only the good one. The Miami and the Cowboys are on the same level, but then the Jets and the Patriots are both at Giants level, so they're definitely below this. But that means
you're looking at the Bills at 13-3, Dolphins at 500, Jets at 4-12, Patriots 3-13.
You're gonna put the only division I could see better than this one, but below the NFC one, the NFC East here, is the NFC West. You're gonna put what? All of these teams are mediocre as hell.
But they can beat all of them can beat Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets. Oh, don't forget the Rams.
You're not wrong.
The Rams beat the Bills. The Rams beat the Bills.
True. The Rams are a mediocre team. They're good one week and bad the next. The Seahawks are mediocre. The Cardinals are mediocre, and the San Francisco 49ers suck. But the Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, the best ability is availability. So
and they were upset by the Rams.
I would, I mean, it's a bit of a toss-up, but I think the Bills are just that good that I would put them 5th, and I would put the NFC East 6th. But it's up to you.
Nope.
Okay.
AFC East is 6. Even K-Duff probably agree with me on that one.
I agree. I agree with it.
K-Duff,
your pick.
Okay, well, this one's going to be a little controversial for Lob, but I'm going to take the AFC North and put them at 3rd.
Ooh.
Now, there should be a solid argument here for this. If you're looking at the records.
I am not knocking the Ravens or the Steelers. They have done great this year. The Bengals have been also holding on great. The Browns suck. But at the same time, all three of the aforementioned teams have a history of choking when it matters. So they can put up entertaining matches both in division and with outside of it. But when it matters, like in playoffs or when you're right at that edge of playoff contention, that's where I feel like you're lacking.
If I can persuade you here, though, I think that the AFC East is worse because of record. The AFC West has a worse record against the AFC North. The AFC North is beating the AFC West in the majority of their games. Also, the worst team in the AFC North, the Browns, is bad. It's nowhere close to how bad the Raiders are, and that's a fact. The Raiders are absolutely abysmal.
Browns have a worse record than the Raiders.
It's because the Raiders are playing.
I think they're the same.
That's true.
I think they're the same though.
I think they actually do have the same record right now.
If you were to base this completely on record, the AFC West has more wins.
The AFC West has more wins, but the AFC North has more wins against the AFC West.
Okay, so
that's what I'm saying.
Browns are 3-13.
The head-to-head matchup is in favor of the AFC North. Also, are you guys really going to sit there? And I know the Chiefs have a lot of wins. Are you really going to say that they're that good of a team? We've all seen it. They don't look the same. They're not on the same level as the Bills. They're not on the same level as the Vikings or the Lions or even damn near the Packers. Especially like the last.
There's no doubt in my mind that there's.
That hurts, man. I'm not even picking this.
15-1 though, aren't they?
They have one loss. They have one loss, but how many of those losses have been by that much? A blocked kick, a toe of a tight end, a horrible PI call, and also like the Chargers.
Exactly, they're having the rep.
True.
Yeah.
A horrible missed PI call.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
the actual PI call was actually PI.
So, do you want to keep him at 3, or do you think they should move to 2nd? Because I feel like the
he's really fighting for this.
Bitch about it. Fine, they can go to 2nd.
Okay.
Don't just give in.
Yeah, don't just give in.
It's late. Let's just move this on so Mom can go to bed.
Mama, pick a division.
Taylor Swift's division, like 3rd place.
Okay. And then that leaves. I would have them 6th. Swap them with the AFC East, but that's where they're going to sit at.
No.
Yeah,
I think
don't know. I mean,
it's just like the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills. Bills are opposed to 3 mediocre teams. That doesn't really balance it out.
One mediocre, 2 bad, 1 mediocre. Fair, but
yeah, but all 4.
So the Bills is heavy with
not all 4
Tom
of the
Brady.
NFC East are mediocre. The San Francisco 49ers suck dick. bad. They are horrible. There's nothing redeeming about that team in the slightest. Deebo Samuel can't stay out of his own head. Devondre Campbell walked off the field. Kyle Shanahan doesn't know what to do. Brock Purdy's the only redeeming value of that team. George Kittle isn't getting touches. All the running backs have been hurt. A player was shot on that team in the beginning of the season. Trent Williams is going through one of the worst situations in his life, losing his newborn child. This team is in a seventh circle of hell. This is bad.
You do realize George Kittle basically carried my fantasy team all year, right?
He did. He's still not getting enough touches like he should because he's the only receiver left on that team. They're playing Ronnie Bell. Love the guy Ronnie Bell, but he can't catch a damn football in the NFL. That guy has bricks for hands. Quentin
I also think Lab has a little AFC bias. I think this is what we learned.
A little, but I mean, the NFC North's the best division in football. That's like
you're gonna tell me
no argument
that between the Jets and the Patriots have enough argumentative factor to go above the mediocre Seahawks and Cardinals.
Hold on. San Fran did beat the Jets and the Patriots this year.
Fair. This is what I'm saying. Like,
Patriots
is you have
shit.
The Patriots.
Fred Warner was beating us on one good foot.
Let me visualize this for you. Okay, here you have the Patriots and the Jets right here. Then you have like the Niners. Then you have the Dolphins. Then you have the Seahawks. Then you have the Rams. Then you have the Dolphins, Seahawks, Rams. Then you have like the Bills, and my hand's off screen. There's such a gap, I feel like. Obviously, the Rams beat the Bills. I get that. But like, I feel like generally there's such a big gap between the Bills and these other 7 teams that it would pull that team further up.
Lob, I understand your argument because for 20 years I was giving this exact same argument when the Patriots were in the Bills' position.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. I was about to say. So no.
Yeah. No. So that I feel like that still doesn't like fit in this day and age though. Like
no.
Like, the Bills are good, but this you're also arguing like that a mostly mediocre division somehow bounces that out. It doesn't really.
Fair. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to give our predictions for next week and then say goodnight to Mamba and those who want to go to sleep, and then we'll move on and talk about the games last week. So here are our scores. So much fun. It was a good pick. Our scores for the season thus far. In first place, Kate up 245 and 74, went 20-3 in week 17, an amazing push there. Next up, Macedon 230. I
suck at fantasy, but I'm good at you pick 'em.
15-3 in that week. Then Mamba 224 and 82, 14-2. Gorlami 218 and 75. He went. It should be week 17, not week 76.
19-3.
19-3, and then I am 205 and 90, went 17-4.
I will not get last. I refuse.
We fixed that Gorlami. I think that's bothering me since week 76. There we go.
I've been drinking too much. Sorry, I forgot how to type.
Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to our predictions for next week. Quickly taking a look at, actually, right before we get into this, let's take a look at just the standings just to see what matters right now. Obviously, Bills have clinched their division. Let's look at actually the playoff. That'll be a little bit easier. Chiefs have clinched the top spot. Bills have clinched their division. The Ravens have clinched a playoff spot. If they lose and the Steelers win the AFC North. The Texans have clinched their division. Obviously, Steelers have clinched a playoff spot. Chargers have also clinched this playoff spot. But now the 3-way tie begins. If Denver wins against the Chiefs, they're in. If Denver loses and Miami wins, Miami's in. If Denver loses, Miami loses. So Denver plays the Chiefs, Miami plays the Jets, and the Bengals win, the Bengals get in. So I am a huge Carson Wentz and Aaron Rodgers fan this week, as well as a Burrow fan. So hopefully that happens. And then eliminated Colts, Jets, Raiders, Jaguars, Browns, Titans, Patriots. Then to the NFC, the Lions have the opportunity to get the number 1 overall seed if they win against the Vikings, and they will also win the NFC North. If they lose and the Vikings win, the Vikings will have the number 1 seed, and they will have the winners of the NFC North. The winners of the NFC North. If the Eagles, I don't know, can the Eagles get the number 1 seed?
They stuck. No,
they're stuck.
No.
So the Eagles have won the NFC
after
East.
After they lost to Washington. Their number 1 seed chances were done.
So the Eagles have won the NFC East, the Rams have won the NFC West, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who might be eliminated from the playoffs, they need to beat the Panthers. If they beat the Panthers, they're in. If they lose to the Panthers and the Falcons beat the Saints, the Falcons will be in the playoffs, eliminating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from contention. The Falcons will have a 9-8 record. Minnesota's obviously going to make the playoffs. It depends on whether or not they beat the Lions, if they're the number 1 or the number 5 seed. The Commanders are also in the playoffs, and the Packers are in the playoffs as well. Eliminated teams, Seahawks, who are 9-7, are eliminated, which is crazy. Dallas Cowboys, Cardinals, Niners, Saints, Bears, Panthers, Giants. All right. Let's go ahead and go back to now our predictions. Get that out of the way. First game up, it is an AFC North Saturday. Starting off with the Browns and Ravens. In this one, I'm going to take the Ravens. They'll not be playing a lot of their players, but it's the Browns. I'm going to take them, I'll take them by 5.
Yeah, we'll go Ravens by 14.
Ravens by 19. They're going to play all their starters because they need to win this to clinch a division and a home playoff game.
Ravens by 17.
I don't even think they need to do the starters, because I just saw something that Bailey Zappi is going to be starting with the Browns. Ravens by 20.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, DTR, Bailey Zappi, DTR, basically the same person.
Yeah, DTR's got some speed, though. All right, Bengals, Steelers. Obviously, both teams need to win this game for different reasons, but as always, I'm going to take the Bengals by 10 in this one. Bengals have been on a tear recently, and I think if the Bengals get in the playoffs, which is a long shot, but if they do, I think there is a legitimate chance for Joe Burrow to be MVP. It's between him and Josh Allen at this point.
AFC Northwest. Who said that?
Where the fuck was this in like the beginning of the season? Why does the Bengals suck at the beginning?
Zach
Give me
Taylor.
Give me the
Zach Taylor, and that defense was horrid. Well, they're still horrid.
Yeah.
A little bit better now, but still, yeah, not great.
I'm gonna go Steelers by 7. I gotta trust the Steelers.
The standard is a standard, and that means Pittsburgh has to choke. Cincinnati by 4.
Yeah, Steelers got their 10 wins. They're just not going to win anymore. Bengals by 12.
It's a year starting with 2000. The Steelers got to choke. Bengals by 9.
The year starting with 2000. Holy crap.
They won the Super Bowl in the 2000s. What do you mean?
They choked anyway. All right, Panthers, Falcons. Michael Penix has looked very good. I've actually been impressed by his play. We'll talk about it a little bit, but he had a very good game against the Washington Commanders. However, I still think that even with Bryce Young playing better, I think the Panthers aren't going to be able to really hold a candle to the Falcons in this one. I'll take the Falcons by 10.
Let's go Falcons by 7.
As long as Raheem Morris doesn't do the Eberflus again of not using timeouts when he should, Atlanta by 4.
Falcons by 7.
Give me the Falcons by 13.
All fair the Falcons there. Okay. All right. NFC East battle between the Commanders and Cowboys. I mean, I don't know if the Commanders are playing for much at this point. I don't think they're really. It's kind of hard to tell at this point.
Ooh. Actually, it kind of matters if they're facing either the Eagles or the Rams. It's because
regardless of who they're playing, it's the Cowboys. We still checking in, y'all them boys? You ain't. Falcons. Commanders by 4.
I'm gonna go with the real American team, the Washington Commanders by 7.
That's wrong.
Oh, hell no. It's Detroit now.
Fair.
Yeah, fair.
Washington by 5.
It's just the name of the team, that's all.
Commanders by 6.
Okay, Duff.
Okay, Duff.
Sorry, I was responding to something. Wake
up.
How about them Commanders by 10?
There we go. All in favor of the Commanders there. Next up, this is an interesting one because I don't think can the Packers move up a spot if they win and the Commanders lose?
They basically stay at their spot. They win. If Commanders win and Green Bay loses, Green Bay goes down to number 7 to face against the Eagles.
So Green Bay actually kind of wants to win. So the biggest question is like, here's Green Bay. Do you just rest some of your players? But it's also the Bears, and you're in Lambeau. I don't think you want to do that. So I'm going to take the Packers in this one by 14.
I'm not taking the Packers. This is a rivalry match. Give me the Bears by 21.
Whoa. Green Bay by 25 because the Bears. Yeah, no.
Still suck.
Oh my God. Where's the lightning strikes when we say McCaskey?
Packers by 17.
That's just everything I hear whenever I hear the McCaskey's name. Give me the Packers by 14.
All right, all in favor for the Packers except for Mamba, sticking with his guns and the Bears. All right. Texans, Titans coming up. Texans not doing great, but you need to end the season on a win. Your position's set no matter what, so they're not going to start their starters. I think they should really get a 10-win season under their belt, get some momentum going to the playoffs. I'm going to take them by 3 in this one.
Why the books are saying Tennessee? That's wild. I guess they're not going to play any of their starters. You know what? Let's go Tennessee by 7. Let's see what happens.
Even the Houston by 1. It's gonna be a shit game. That's all I have to say.
Bad. It's gonna be very bad.
Yeah, Houston's at one and done. Houston's one and done. Basically, Houston gets in the playoffs and they're gonna lose in the first round. There we go. That's my prediction. Also, playoffs.
Get give me the Texans by 3.
All right, again. Excuse me. Oh, but Mamba agreeing with the Texans against the wrong button. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Jaguars, Colts. Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I think all you need to do is just post this.
Colts.
This is the only
5.
thing.
Colts 7.
Who wants to get their coach fired more?
That's a good question, actually.
Indianapolis by 2.
Oh my God! Don't make me think this hard. I can smell the smoke coming out the ears. Colts by 6. I think.
I'm actually gonna flip a coin for this one.
Tails for Colts, heads for Jags.
Jags by 1.
Oh, all right.
Fuck it.
Wait, so Jags by 1 for Keto. How much for Indianapolis, Gorlami?
Huh?
How much did you say for
Indy by what?
6.
Okay. So I was reading what Keto
6.
put. What about the other?
100. All right. Bills, Patriots. I'm gonna take the Bills in this one by 7. Sounds like their backups are better than the Patriots starters somewhat.
Give me the Bills by 7.
Buffalo by 8.
Oh, Bills by 10. In Muzzy we trust.
Fuck it. Oh wait, I just realized what the matches is. Bills by 17.
Right,
give me that first overall pick.
He's all in for the tank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Random center from Holy Cross University. You are now a first-round pick in the
draft.
Fuck
off with that bullshit.
I mean, Jerron Mayo is a disciple of Bill Belichick, so.
All right. I trust Kenny Pickett not being able to throw a football or pick up a football or hold on to a football more than I trust Drew Lock. Eagles by 5.
Give me the Eagles by 7.
I think it's gonna be McGee starting the third stringer. So
Xavier
Philly
McGee.
by 5. Yeah, Philly by 5.
Yeah, give me Santa's worst nightmare by 9.
I feel like John Marr would have an aneurysm if the Giants win again, so Eagles by 6.
All in favor of the Eagles there. Saints and Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield realizes if he wins this game, he's in the playoff. I think that's going to drive him a lot against the Saint team who, I don't know who even they're starting at quarterback. It might be the Spencer Rattler. So I'm going to take the Buccaneers by 3.
Give me the Buccaneers by 21.
Baker beat Bacon by 11.
Baker Mayfield and his Zinnichinos by 12.
Zins.
Give me the Bucks by 10.
Chug, 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 chug.
Alrighty. All in favor of the Buccaneers in that one to stamp their ticket to a first-round exit. Next up. Well, actually, no, they're in the NFC. Who's the bottom seed in the NFC?
No, they're going to be faced against whoever
They're
wins.
going to be facing the NFC North. Yeah, first-round bye. Or first-round exit, not bye. Or, no. No, they're facing the Eagles. Ooh.
No.
NFC.
It's number 4 against number 5. So it's either whoever lost. Yeah.
Oh, so it's probably going to be the Vikings or the Lions.
Or
okay.
Lions, yeah.
Yeah, that's might be by. Anyway, Chiefs by 5.
Chiefs by 21.
I think Sean Payne's going to bring out Bounty Gate. Denver by 4.
Just to see Lob's hopes and dreams get crushed, give the Broncos by 10.
You piece of shit.
I am only picking this not because I believe in the Bengals, but because I believe Carson Wentz has the chance to do the funniest thing ever to Denver. Chiefs by 3.
Wow.
Actually, that would be funny.
Yes.
All right. Next up, Chargers and Raiders. Oops, that's Mamba. I'll take the Chargers by 10 in this one.
Give me the Chargers by 7.
Chargers by 11.
Chargers by 15.
Chargers by 13.
There we go. Chargers are all finished there. All in favor of them against the struggling Raiders. Next up, Rams, Seahawks. Both these teams have nothing to play for. Rams can't move up in standing. They've won the division. Seahawks are eliminated from the playoffs. So it's going to be backups. And the depth of the Seahawks, I think I trust a little bit more than the depth of the Rams. So I'm going to take the Seahawks in this one by 2.
Give me the Seahawks by 14.
Rams by 1? I don't know.
Rams by 3.
Rams by 3.
Okay, 3 for the Rams, 2 for the Seahawks. All right. Next up, Dolphins, Jets. Jets. Win.
Suck.
Please, Jets by 1. Please. Whoever the fuck is starting quarterback for the Jets, because I don't know. Jacoby Brissett. I don't know
who's got
please.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't checked his Madden rating yet. I don't think he's a starter material for the Jets.
God.
Also, Brissett's on the Patriots.
So then, no, Tyrod Taylor, please.
I forgot Tyrod Taylor's on the Jets.
So
you just get fucked over by shitty teams. God damn.
Over more just injury history than anything, honestly.
So, Lob,
yeah.
You never should pick the Jets. Let me go to the Dolphins by 7.
Yeah, Miami by 3.
Fuck you, Lob. Give me the Dolphins by 6.
I don't like bringing up the Miami Miracle, but Miami by 7.
Look, all it takes is one person to believe. All it takes is one horse to pull a cart. All it took was one jet to bring down. I will not finish that sentence. Anyway.
Remember this. Zach Wilson has more wins than Aaron Rodgers as a Jet.
Oh, well, good thing Aaron Rodgers is out. Anyway, Cardinals and 49ers. Good. This is a game. I mean, I think the Cardinals are going to win this because, I mean, they have nothing to play for at this point, but the 49ers are dead in the water. I'll take the Cardinals in this one by 3.
Sorry. Let's go with the Birds by 7.
Cardinals by 4.
Woe is me. Cardinals by 6.
Fuck, I honestly don't know.
This is a lot of thought.
Because you don't know even who's.
You know
playing,
what?
guys.
You know what my favorite Star Wars fighter is?
The
TIE fighter.
Oh,
TIE.
no. Ah.
Oh.
Fuck it. I just don't care anymore
Yeah, that's true.
with either of these teams.
Oh, my God.
That's actually really good. That's a good one.
All right. And finally,
Someone like
an
Chewie.
amazing game that has actually happened. This is going to be for the number 1 seed in the NFC, a first-round bye in the NFC North Championship. This has been the toughest division in recent memory. Obviously, AFC North last year had all teams above 500. This year, the NFC North has 3 teams with, I believe, more than 11 wins already going into the final week.
11 or more.
11 or more wins.
11
So
or
they
more.
could possibly have 3 teams with 12 or more wins on the year if the Packers are able to win against the Bears at home. Vikings versus Lions from Detroit, Michigan. Alex Alzoni is back. I think that's a good sign for them. I'm taking the Lions in this one. In overtime on a Jake Bates winning field goal. 3 points. Take it to the bank.
I'm going to take it to the bank with you. Give me 7.
Detroit by 5, because that's how many times Dan Campbell is going to go for a 4th down. 5 times.
Yeah, I think it's more than that.
Do I have to pick?
Yes.
You can pick a tie, like you can. Wait, what happens if this ends in a tie? Oh.
Detroit.
Oh, Detroit, okay.
Because they already beat Minnesota earlier this year.
Oh.
That would actually be awesome to see.
Ties are stupid, though.
Lions by 6.
Pick
either.
Yeah, give me the Lions by. I'm sorry, I'm gonna price it right. You go on me. The Lions by 7.
I don't care.
I mean, this is a great way to end out the NFL season, a game of this magnitude. So I'm glad that that's happening, and I'm glad we got a good game to end the NFL season out on.
I hate you.
So yeah, now we're gonna start talking about the NFL games from last week. So obviously it's late, so we're gonna say.
Oh god, I forgot about last week's games.
Good night.
Yeah.
I am going to go.
It might just be me. So
I'm also
I'm still
sneaking out.
staying. I'm still staying.
So
I got to
it's
get
gonna
up at
be-
5, so
It'll be me and Macedon talking about football, I guess.
I
So
thought Keto's staying or no.
Good night.
I think I'll stick around.
no shame.
We can just run through these, I guess, real quick.
Okay, then let's do it. All right. Rami,
I'm
out.
good seeing you.
goodbye, friends.
Goodbye. We'll see you next week. All right, we're back. Just the 3 of us talking about football now. We won't spend, I don't think, a ton of time on this. There's just a lot of games to cover, so we'll get the highlights going. Just talk about some of the key performances. I don't know if I'll go through all of the stats, but we'll start with the Kansas City Chiefs and Pittsburgh Steelers. This was on Christmas Day. 29-10 the final score. Chiefs really walked away with this one. Mahomes 29 for 38 for 320, 3 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. They didn't run the ball increasingly well. Only 20 yards for Kareem Hunt on 9 carries and a touchdown. He was their lead rusher. Travis Kelce 8 for 84 and a touchdown. Worthy's 8 for 79 and a touchdown. Justin Watson 2 for 16 and a touchdown. Hollywood Brown 4 for 46. I mean, the Chiefs' offense looked unstoppable. This Steelers defense couldn't hold a candle. Russell Wilson 23 for 37 for 205, no touchdowns, 1 pick, 5 sacks. This defense looked amazing for the Steelers. How do you think this game is going to kind of show the future for these two teams in the playoffs?
I mean, it pretty much just feels like yet another case where the Chiefs are going to win out again. Honestly, I mean, I feel like we might have just gotten a preview of what could be a wild card or first round game is going to be like.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs are on a bye. It's just Steelers. Just who are they going to be? If they get the division and who they're facing against, it's like it's the standards. The standard still seems like
Chiefs look very
strong
very
season
solid defensively. Obviously, Harrison Buckner there missing an extra point. Does not.
I thought that he was still injured.
No, I think that was Sam kicking. I believe.
Oh, it was.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought he was still.
Yeah, he doesn't look fully back yet, so we'll see how that affects him down the line. But again, this Chiefs defense looks better than it ever has been, and now their offense is starting to click. More of these weapons are coming around. Beginning of the season didn't have a lot. Now look at them where they're at this season. Obviously Travis Kelce is still playing serviceably at worst. Noah Gray looks like a great backup for him. DeAndre Hopkins is there, and he didn't have a great game, but at any moment he could turn back the clock a little bit and it could be dangerous. Juju Smith-Schuster, Samaje Perine, Hollywood Brown's there, not to mention the fastest man in the NFL, Xavier Worthy's there too. I mean, there's just people at every position on the offensive side of the ball that can make plays, and especially with a guy like Patrick Mahomes giving them the ball, you don't know what's happening as far as who to cover, who to guard, and who's going to go off. And that's scary as a defense trying to cover all of them.
Yep.
For the Steelers, if their defense isn't doing well, this team isn't doing well. I don't think this team can win shootouts. I don't trust their offense enough for them to be able to do things as efficiently as it needs to be to win games where, like, let's say they go play the Lions. I don't think the Steelers, well, obviously that'll be the Super Bowl, but I don't think the Steelers will be able to match up well with a team like that, or even like the Rams, like a team that they could score pretty well on, but like their defense is going to have to really show up. Their defense in this game did not show up at all and did not look great in the slightest. So if they're going to win any games in the playoffs, their defense is going to have to perform a lot better than this. Even though this is the Chiefs, this was an abysmal performance from them. All right, moving on to the next. This was the most televised, the most streamed NFL game outside of the Super Bowl ever. And the final score was 31-2. I want to put this in perspective. The Texans never scored an offensive point.
Yeah.
The only points they scored were 2 defensive points on a safety. And the reason most people probably watched this was because of Beyonce. Not only did the Houston Texans come out in these absolutely abysmal TV uniforms, like you can't tell what they're wearing on TV, but they played horribly. 2 total points. Stroud, 17 for 31 for 185, no touchdowns, 1 pick, 5 sacks. Lamar Jackson, on the other hand, he only threw 15 times, 10 for 15 for 168, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 1 sack. Derrick Henry ran for 147 yards on 27 carries and a touchdown. Lamar ran for 87 yards on 4 carries and a touchdown. Keaton Mitchell ran for 20 yards on 11 carries. Are you seeing a pattern here? The Texans' run defense is horrible. At this point, they need to, find Brian Cushing wherever he's hiding out nowadays, inject him with enough steroids to drop a cow, and put a helmet on him and throw him middle linebacker. Because, they need someone to fill the A gap, and it's bad. It is bad.
Did Houston even show up for this game?
No.
Damn.
I think they were all Beyonce. I think these were the Beyonce backup dancers playing in Houston Texan uniforms, because this was horrible.
Also, another thing that happened. This is not a scoregami game.
Somehow, 31-2.
It isn't. 31-2 has happened before.
Yep.
Wow.
Jesus.
So, if you are a Houston Texans fan, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the oh shit meter at? You're making the
10.
playoffs, but really
11.
Dude, you look at they just only won because AFC South sucks.
That's true.
They are one and done. That. This whole team just looks bad.
Who's their first round matchup for them? It would be the top. It would be the top.
It'll be whoever is. Actually, hold on. I'm looking right now.
It would be. Oh, I think it would either be Baltimore or Pittsburgh.
Nope. No. It's either Baltimore or Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's either Baltimore or Pittsburgh. Sorry, I was looking wrong.
They will lose. Obviously, they'll lose against Baltimore, but against Pittsburgh,
no, not with this Houston team.
No, I mean, if they play like this, absolutely not. If they play to what their roster is capable of, I think they could do some damage. CJ Stroud, what the fuck? Never mind. Steelers by $1 billion. Holy crap! Holy moly! Let's take another look at that real quick. Like, hikes the ball. This is an RPO. You don't like how this edge is coming over, so you don't give it to him. And you're holding the ball here. I mean, obviously, he's not open. He's not open. I mean, I don't know where the safety's at, so maybe up here could be open. And then just like, and then one keep rolling right and just throw the ball out of bounds. I mean, oh man, this was the safety, I believe. Yep.
Yes.
Bonk. That was the best play from the Texans all game.
Congratulate that. You're gonna get a wild card elimination with this kind of play. I feel like we can just skip this one. 6-3. That's all you need to know.
Let's rock.
Yeah.
Broncos country.
It has nothing to do with Russell Wilson, but this is the same as the Matt Ryan Russell Wilson fantastic game.
Well, his old team is playing like Wilson was last year, so.
The final score was 6-3. Caleb Williams had only one interception in the game that was late in the game. Again, as a Bears fan, I know the season's been absolutely horrible, but Caleb Williams does look like a solid quarterback you can base your team around. He's mobile, he's agile, he stays in the pocket when there is one, which there rarely is, and he doesn't just get rid of the ball whenever. So, he 16 for 28 for 122, no touchdowns, 1 pick, 7 sacks. Obviously, the 1 pick is bad, but that was a desperation attempt at the end of the game, and the 7 sacks are not really on him, as much as you would like to think they are. Then for the Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith, 17 for 23 for 160, no touchdowns, no interceptions, 3 sacks. No one could run the ball. The highest rushing yards was Charbonnet, 15 for 57. This game was just abysmal all around. This was a depressing game and a depressing atmosphere in a depressing stadium between two depressing teams that just was depressing.
Thursday night football should never have been a thing. It should only be for college.
Yeah. Thursday night Maction would go pretty hard but you would have to get enough people to cover it. I think if they do Thursday night football, if they continue to do it, they need to have 2 bye weeks in the season, and you need to have a bye week going into a Thursday night game at the worst. Your second bye week should be going into a Thursday night game. That would obviously limit the amount of Thursday night games that you have, but so be it, because a lot of this football hasn't been great. Besides that Kirk Cousins masterclass we had like week 4, I don't think anything's been good.
All the games that's been in division games Thursday night football this year has been decent ones. You had the Bengals, Ravens, Eagles, Commanders, the Falcons, Bucks, Green Bay, Detroit game.
Mm-hmm.
They were all in division games.
Maybe you take that as a sign. 2 bye weeks in the season, 1 bye week before your Thursday night game. They're always division matchups. You might get better football. Who knows? But that's also less games for Amazon to cover, and that's less money for them, and they're not going to do that. So, I'll tell you what we're not going to do. We're not going to watch any more of this fucking atrocity. Get that off my screen.
Thank you.
All right. Anyway, speaking of
oh boy. Why is it that every time we play the Chargers in the past 5 years, it just goes utterly horrible for us? I mean, this wasn't as bad as 6-0, but it just felt bad to watch.
40-7 was the final score. Obviously, 2 teams on the very different ends of the spectrum. Chargers putting it together, trying to make a deep playoff run, while the Patriots are still trying to make a rebuild. Again, silver lining, as always, Patriots. Drake May looks good.
At least Drake May looks good, but our defense has, holy shit, it is regressing.
This was one of Drake May's worst games, badly. But even then, the stat line isn't horrible. 12 for 22 for 177, a touchdown, no picks, 4 sacks. Rushed for 32 yards and 6 attempts. Nothing flashy, but nothing horrible. The only horrible thing was that big hit he took there. Other guys running the ball, Antonio Gibson was the only other rusher, 12 for 63. For the Chargers passing, 26 for 38 for Justin Herbert for 281 and 3 touchdowns. No interceptions, no sacks. The main touchdowns in the game were scored by Ladd McConkey, 8 receptions, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's turning out to be the prototypical Wes Welker, short white slot guy that just does an amazing job there. And then also running the ball, Jake Adams had a good day, 90 for 76 and a touchdown. Good for the Chargers to get a really nice positive surge win for them to really boost their momentum at the end of the season as they're getting into the playoffs. And then for the Patriots, secure that number 1 overall pick so you can draft that, 6 foot, 150-pound left tackle from Holy Cross. So,
shut up with that. Don't. It's not happening. It is not happening.
I'm manifesting it. You can't stop me.
If
Incoming Cole Strange archetype tackle.
Apparently, like, this was Cole Strange's debut as a center, and it didn't go horrible.
I mean,
but
as
that's
far
not saying
as, like,
much considering this O-line.
I mean, wasn't he usually a guard?
He is a guard, so
yeah.
Like, and I know what you're gonna say. Like usually interior O-line positions go all over the line, and wouldn't be it probably isn't his first time playing a center.
Ted Karras from you guys, we moved him from left guard to center, and he's done very well.
Karras has been a center with us before,
right? So but he was mainly playing guard when he was with you guys. But
I will say this: Justin Herbert's not like exploding on stats, but he only has 3 interceptions.
I think
he's doing enough to keep them in the running. So
if anybody understands balanced football, it is Jim Harbaugh. He knows how much he can put on a quarterback and how much he can rely. Obviously, he can rely much more on Justin Herbert. But at the same time, he knows that he also has a lot of other talented guys, and he's also put together a very talented blocking scheme, and not to mention this fucking behemoth at fullback. So he's using what assets he has in order to do what needs to be done in order to put his team in the best position to win the game. And sometimes that's not always chucking the rock downfield.
Yeah, this is more or less almost the exact same squad minus a few new acquisitions as last year. With Staley, it looked like an embarrassment. With Harbaugh, they look like a dark horse contender here.
Yeah, I think once they get a really surefire, I'm not dissing Will Dissy, pun not intended, but I think once they get a really, really surefire tight end, I think this team is even more dangerous. Like, if they were somehow, obviously they can't get Brock Bowers, but if they were able to get someone of near his caliber in the draft, like if a Colston Loveland falls to them, especially as a former Michigan guy, this is... Yeah, this is going to be a very scary team. Just they need to improve. This defense is already the top 20 defense in the NFL. They need to improve some of their consistency, and the offense just needs to fix up a couple different things and a few holes, and they're good to go. But yeah, again, mark my words. I really do think that Max Bredesen, fullback out of Michigan, will be on this team next year. I feel like Jim Harbaugh's not going to let that guy slip out of his hand in the 7th round. But anyway, tough position there just for the Patriots. Moving on.
The toughest.
Zach Taylor.
I still have no idea how Zach Taylor still has a job with this league with how this game started out for you.
Absolutely.
I can't see fucking shit out.
They hit markers.
Good time. Oh, these aren't homemade. They were made in a factory.
A bomb.
They're bombs.
They're bombs.
Now head over in this direction.
What are you aiming at?
Hooray!
Talk about the pit. Push! Barbecue. Don't push him across.
No. I had to say something about that part.
Oh,
this direction.
About the pit.
I'll say something about that part.
What?
So, the 4th quarter, they went for a QB sneak after Chase Brown slid to try to waste time.
Yeah.
Why did you have Chase Brown slide when you're just gonna go try to go for a touchdown?
And he
after
hurt
that?
himself. That's when he sprained his ankle trying to do that awkward slide when he was getting tackled. They should have just kneeled the ball, or we should have just fell forward for a half yard each time and then kicked a field goal.
Yep. And worst case scenario, I know he did miss that field goal earlier.
That is a kick that a toddler can make from 20 yards out in the front of the end zone. If he can't make that,
but what I'm saying is the worst case scenario, if they would have missed that kick, when time expired, it would have just gone to overtime anyway. Yeah. This one, you just gave Denver more time.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Don't push him across with Samples. Touchdown. With 1:24 to go, and Denver will have a timeout.
We locked eyes, and I just started doing it.
What? And Bruno saying, get over the top of Sutton. And next where they're going to mess around. It is caught. Touchdown.
That was honestly great. And then whatever the fuck this is.
Also, I'm glad that Kevin Harlan. Yeah, I'm glad that Kevin Harlan was doing this game.
Now it's my turn.
Bet your soul that did the boogie.
Broncos season could have possibly ended on a double
End zone caught. Higgins touchdown. Bengals win.
The shifter.
You don't even need to review that because everyone just wanted that game to end.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Bengals hoping it's going to win. Broncos ending like get this fucking over with.
Absolutely classic game. Great performance by both teams from the Queen City and Cincinnati. Bengals get the win in overtime, extending their playoff hopes just a little bit more. They need a lot of help this upcoming week. They need the Jets to beat the Dolphins and the Chiefs to beat the Broncos, and they also need to beat the Steelers for them to make it into the final playoff spot to play the Bills in week 1 of the wild card, or in the wild card week of the playoff. If you're going to look at a game that puts Burrow in MVP conversation, it's this one. 39 for 49 for 412 yards with 3 touchdowns and 7 sacks.
Not bad,
That's
not bad.
Insane. Chase Brown also did a great job running the ball, 67 yards on 20 carries. For the receiving category, T. Higgins, 11 for 131 and 3 touchdowns. He also, there have been a couple blurbs saying that he's willing to take less money to stay on the Bengals. Duke Tobin, pay T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and my life is yours. Please. Please. We need these 3 guys to stay. We got Burrow locked up, and now we just need to get Jamar Chase and T. Higgins together. Jamar Chase also had 9 receptions, 102 yards. Mike Gesicki had 10 receptions for 86 yards. This guy was on fire. Then moving on to the Broncos. Bronco Bo, 24 for 31 for 219, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 2 sacks. McLaughlin also ran well, 10 for 69. Marvin Mims, 8 for 103 and 2 touchdowns. Cortland Sutton, 555 and a touchdown. This was a great game both ways. The Cincinnati offense just was too unstoppable for the Broncos to deal with. There's only one Pat Surtain, and he was only able to cover Jamar or T. Higgins, and he was stuck on Jamar most of the game, so T. Higgins was wide open and ready to play. Still very, very disappointed. Obviously, the Broncos defense is good, but this Cincinnati Bengals O-line gets more and more people every year, and we just can't do anything with it. Mims got hurt in this game, our giant playing right tackle, so that was rough. Orlando Brown is apparently playing on a broken leg. And Cordell Volson has been benched at this point. Alex Kappa has started to look a little bit more mediocre as the weeks go on, and Ted Karras is still holding down the middle as best he can. But there's only so much you can do against a pass rush as a center. So, also Cody Ford is slow as fuck. There's nothing redeeming I can say about his pass blocking. He just gets ran around every time. So this O-line needs to be fixed somehow. And I don't know how. I honestly don't. At this point, it seems also, like coaching.
Yeah, this game basically shows that Joe Burrow's carrying Zach Taylor.
Yes. We need a proper NFL head coach, not a Nebraska castaway. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of Zach Taylor. This is a win and I'm mad. All right. Cardinals and Rams.
This was ugly.
It was. I mean, the Cardinals were already eliminated, but the Rams still got the win, 9-13. I believe this was on. Was this on like a game-winning?
This was Saturday night.
It was Saturday night.
No. There was no game winning. No, it was just they were up by a lot already.
Kyler Murray, 33 for 48 for 321 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, and 4 sacks. A pretty good stat line for him besides the 2 interceptions. He also ran the ball 32 yards and 4 carries. Michael Carter, 13 for 70. But the absence of James Conner after a quick injury after only 4 carries really hurt them and kind of made their offense a little bit more one-sided, only passing. The Rams, Stafford, 17 for 32 for 189. Not his best game passing-wise, but still able to get the job done. Puka Nacua, 10 receptions, 129 yards. Did a great job there. And their defense put them in good position in order to be able to get points when they could, and they were able to get the win, 9-13, the final score. Slightly ugly game, but at the end, a win is a win, and the Rams are building momentum as they enter the playoffs as a slightly dark horse team. They have enough weapons to do anything to anybody if they so wish.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else needs to be said about this game?
Nah, it's
not really. Yeah. Cardinals suck. Rams are somehow necromancing their way back into the playoffs, and the Jets definitely aren't.
Jets suck.
Fuck off, Jets.
Suck.
14-40 the final score. Yes, I said that correctly. 14-40. Josh Allen, 16 for 27 for 182, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He also ran 17 yards for 5 attempts and 1 touchdown. Aaron Rodgers didn't even play a full part of the game. He was subbed out, I believe, in the third. 12 for 18 for 112, no touchdowns, 2 picks, 4 sacks. Tyrod Taylor came in and actually threw 2 touchdowns, 11 for 14 and 83 yards. By that point, the game was basically over. Not only are the Jets bad, the Bills are very good, and I think, this is a great way for the Bills to end out the season, playing 2 of the worst teams in football, let alone their division. And they're going to be able to get 2 easy wins if they play their cards right, and they're going to be able to build momentum going into the playoffs. For the Jets, figure out what you're doing with the team in the offseason. Who you're hiring as head coach, what you're doing with Aaron Rodgers, probably trading him or getting rid of him in some manner of fashion, and then how you're going to move forward. So, yeah.
Also, I remember I saw, guess which running back has the most rushing touchdowns this year?
Guess what running back has the most rushing touchdowns this year?
Yep.
My inclination is to say like Barkley.
Nope.
It is in
this. Yes, he has 15.
Yeah, he had one today, 15 for 53 and a touchdown, or in this game. So.
Also, I can see why people say Barkley, but you kind of forget about the tush push when they're at like the 2.
Yeah, Barkley seems always to get down at like the 1 or the 2, and then Jalen Hurts is just in the corner, like, it's my time to shine, baby. Like, okay.
Wait, no, but James Cook has improved from a season ago.
So, how much of this on the Jets is on Aaron Rodgers? What percentage of the weight is on Aaron Rodgers here?
Yes.
100% of the Jets season is on Aaron Rodgers?
I would say a decent amount, but the GM also. And the owner. Really, the owner is a big one, but
do you think he has anything left to give a championship contending team?
Now with that Achilles injury,
not at all.
His age, you can saw that some of his throws just look bad. It's what happens to a lot of QBs that get to that age.
Yeah.
Can't do it anymore.
It worked for Brady. It's not working for him.
Brady was a 1 in a million thing. Like, Rodgers did his best to try and imitate that success, and it's only gotten him a fraction of like what Brady ever did. And I knew like going to the Jets was basically going to work out as well for them as when Favre was here. It didn't end with the dick pic to the reporter like we thought it was going to at one point, but it's definitely ending on a very sour note.
Yep.
We'll see what happens with the Jets teams next year. They have 1 more game to play, and Rodgers.
Well, let's just. Play in it. Well, I already know how it's going to go. Hey, Brick, what's Rodgers' rating for Madden 26?
Yeah.
Oh, it's low. Okay, yeah, we're going to go with Jordan Travis now.
All right, 25-10, the final score. The Raiders get the win in the Caesars Superdome against the Saints. Aiden O'Connell, 20 for 35 for 242 and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1 sack. Amir Abdullah had a great day, 20 carries, 115 yards, as well as Alexander Mattinson, 10 for 32. The Saints, Spencer Rattler.
That is honestly a weird thing for me. Amir Abdullah, 10-year vet, done absolutely nothing in his life, just suddenly comes out and has a 100-yard game.
Done nothing in football, his football life.
His football life, yes.
He's made it to the NFL. That's something in his life. For the Saints, Spencer Rattler, 20 for 36 for 218, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 3 sacks. He also ran the ball 3 times for 46 yards. It seems like Franklin Pierce can win games against bad teams very easily, but when it comes to tough teams, he can't. That also might be the roster the Raiders have. But, yeah.
Raiders, you won the game, but Raiders, you won the game, but you lost the Tank Bowl.
Yeah. But also at the same time, like, this is a pretty loaded draft class. Like, why not just win a game? And, you're going to have the pick of, like, the Raiders are going to be, what, 3rd, 4th? Like, you're going to still be able to
hold on, let me go to...
Still going to have a good option, is what I'm saying.
Real quick.
They were about to be. They were close to being number one. It's just a matter of like one win or loss, literally.
They are now in 8th.
8th. Oh.
Yeah.
You gotta remember how many bad teams are this year. You got the Patriots, the Giants, the Jags, the Tennessee.
Well, the order goes Patriots, Titans, Browns, Giants, Jaguars, Panthers, Jets. I could name 3, maybe 4 teams that could take a quarterback ahead of them.
That is true. I guess that does matter. Oh, yeah, Raiders. What the hell?
Yeah, I said it like this was going to ruin the tank for them, and that Antonio Pierce was saying, like, that shit doesn't matter to us. Really should matter. Yeah. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a shit poster from Boston.
Yeah, but I think that's just a matter of like every coach is gonna have to say that just to make sure they save face or something from just the NFL like fans in general. So
yes, I mean, but at the same time, there's winning just for the sake of that morale boost for your team, and there's a winning for, and there's like actually doing something that can help your team in the long run. This did not help your team in the long run.
Yeah, will definitely not help them in the long run. But great performance by Amir Abdullah. Shout out. Anyway, moving on.
I'll give him that. I'll give him props for that at least. Okay.
This is the game that broke every Colt fan ever. 33-45, the final score from the Midlands. The Giants get the win against the Colts, dashing their playoff dreams, keeping other teams' playoff dreams alive. Joe Flacco was starting quarterback at 26 for 38 for 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 2 sacks.
Yeah, reportedly because guess what? AR5 is injured again.
That's not good, yeah. Jonathan Taylor, 32 carries, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Alec Pierce, 6 receptions, 102 yards, 1 touchdown. Michael Pittman Jr., 9 for 109 and a touchdown. Like, all these stats point to the fact that Patriots should have won. The Colts should have won. But the Giants, Drew Lock, 17 for 23 for 309 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. No one ran the ball well for them. Tyron Tracy, 20 for 59, and Devin Singletary, 5 for 21. But then receiving, Malik Neighbors, 7 for 71 and 2 touchdowns. An amazing day for both offenses. Both defenses sucked. The only thing that really was even worse was Joe Flacco's, streakiness and ending up throwing 2 picks, which really cost the Colts the game. And in any situation, you shouldn't be forcing 30-something-year-old Joe Flacco to try to win you a playoff contending game, I should say. I don't know what's going on with this Colts defense, but this Giants offense has one weapon, and that weapon is Malik Neighbors. Shut him down, stop the very limited run that they have, and you win. And you couldn't do either of those things.
Yep. I feel like all you need to even say is like the first of 3 pages from McAfee's thing. A blind person could see the red flags on his team. Work ethic questions never happens on good teams. Preparation commitment questions never happens on good teams. Late to meetings, late to skipping treatment, and the franchise QB tapped out a game on 3rd down the red zone because he was tired. Never fucking happens in the history of the NFL. It happened to this team multiple times throughout the season.
Yeah. This team needs a change in coaching. This team needs a change in management, and this team needs a change in owner. I think with Dan Snyder, or no, what was his name?
Jim Irsay.
No. The Commanders guy that sold the team. What was his name?
That was Dan Snyder.
That was Dan Snyder?
Right.
Okay. With Dan Snyder gone, the worst owner in the league is a toss-up between Jerry Jones, Mike Brown, and
David Tepper.
David Tepper.
Tepper's up there. Irsay, it's a good 4 nominees for worst owner.
It could be any one of them. So I really think
the culture on this team is awful. Gus Bradley's defense completely prolapsed in this game.
It's bad.
And for the Giants, the upteenth year in a row, you failed to make the playoffs right when it mattered.
Yeah. And for the Giants, what do you? Why would you win this game? You're just making it worse to get yourself a pick.
Brian Davis trying to save his job.
This is rough. This is really rough. Rough game. Terrible for the Colts organization. Probably one of the worst losses in Colts history. Yeah, we'll move on from that before we get any more tears from Indianapolis.
Nobody won.
It's
like the
up there.
Giants won, but nobody won.
You forget about the Colts. This is one of the worst losses for the Colts, but you forget about when they lost to Jacksonville in Week 17 with Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah,
at Duval.
Yeah.
8. Oh God, go with
the 2024 Dallas Cowboys.
24 Dallas Cowboys. Will win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they've been playing bad shit. Somebody gotta do it, man. This team been playing ass shit. Somebody gotta do it. Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off. Turn the game off. Turn the game off. This shit hurt, man. Somebody turn the paint off.
Oh, I was not turning this
man. My CTE tweaking shit. I've been trying to turn my brain. I almost tore my ACL trying to run and turn the game. Man, this year in the trash, but we won't even make the playoffs. Man, this year in the trash, I'm out here spreading negativity. This shit got me drinking cigarettes and smoking Hennessy. They like, hey, bro, what's gotten into you? What's gotten into me? Man, I've been overwhelmed with Black Air Force One energy. My CTE going bonkers. Please, where's the remedy? Man, Jerry Jones so old that he lived through him. He made a deal with the Illuminati back in the 90s. Now it's 2024 and we ain't got no aura. I tried to watch a game and now my new TV all tore. Stephen A got hairline surgery and Bora Bora. Man, what the fuck is going on? Who the hell making the decision?
Bad game for the Cowboys.
That is those are great bars, though. I have to.
True.
I'm not gonna lie.
This was so exciting to watch.
41-7 final score. Eagles got the win. Kenny Pickett went 10 for 15 for 143 and a touchdown. No one's going to remember that. Everyone's going to remember the moment where he probably had the most goofy-looking pass in the history of the NFL.
I know what you're talking about.
What quarter was that in?
I thought it was in the first.
I think it might have been the first.
It was in the first because the same quarter he was heating up.
Was it? Wait, was this the pass?
No, that was the
no,
touchdown.
but it's a nice one though.
It was in the first quarter.
Was it a turnover?
No. I don't know if they're gonna show it.
Whatever. But yeah, it basically was trying to throw the ball and just like didn't ever let go of it, and it just came down and swooped. It was really weird. Saquon Barkley, though, 31 carries, 167 yards. It's sad that he's never going to be able to break that record from Eric Dickerson. They're going to want to rest him for this final week. Devontae Smith, though, 6 receptions, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. For the Cowboys, Cooper Rush, 15 for 28 for 147 and a touchdown and 2 picks.
I found the video.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That still ended up in the hands of an Eagle.
Yep.
I have to show the slow-mo after this because it's so fucking
Thank
hilarious.
God Barkley was able to catch it.
It was in the second.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought it was in the first.
Okay, I see what happens here. He got
hit. And he's like, I'm gonna hold on to it.
Ends up unintentionally Gronk spiking the ball.
Yeah.
Throws backwards. And Barkley just comes up with it.
So when you look at it from one angle, you think he just did not let go, but that one he got hit.
Yeah.
Look, Kenny, I know the turf is green, but that doesn't mean it's your teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those Kelly Greens.
Amazing uniforms. Rico Dwell, another good game. Bit of a bright spot in the Cowboys organization right now. 23 for 104 rushing. Cooper Rush 15 for 28 for 147, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 1 sack. Not a great day for him, but again, this Cowboys team is not looked great all season. They're probably going to finish the season possibly with 10 losses. So it could be a really, really bad year for them. But Eagles, much better than last year at the end of the year. Looking much, much better, not really dwindling like they were last year. So good performance from them here. Go ahead and move on to the next game now. Panthers and Bucks. Right.
Bucks are heating up. Oh,
yeah. This is a lot different from last year.
The majority of their offense getting hurt.
Last year, a lot of teams going into the playoff were kind of like, and they're starting to peter out a little bit. It feels like this year in the NFL, a lot of teams that are making the playoffs are heating up as they're getting into the playoffs. Like, obviously, we'll have to see about the Bengals if they get in, but they're ramping it up like crazy. Eagles are ramping it up. The Bucks are ramping it up. Obviously, contrary to that, the Texans have been in a slump for the whole season somehow.
Commanders doing some heating up.
Commanders are heating up. They had a midseason lull, but now are looking better. 14-48, the final score. Buccaneers get the win at home against the struggling Panthers team. Not a bad day, though, for Bryce Young. 15 for 28 for 203, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 5 sacks. Not really his fault for the sacks. No one could run the ball. 13 rushing carries, 39 yards, 20 for Backshear, and 11 for Moore, 8 for Bryce Young. For the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, 27 for 32 for 359 yards and 5 touchdowns and 2 sacks.
God,
Baker's not in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Christian Gonzalez didn't make it in as a cornerback either, and he had a pretty decent year.
Hold on. He's not.
Oh, yeah, the Pro Bowl
NFC roster. I'm checking the Pro Bowl roster right now. Goff, Daniels, Darnold.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, that makes sense.
Okay,
Daniil Hunter was also snubbed. So, other guys that weren't in: Baker, Brian Thomas Jr., Jacksonville wide receiver, Zach Allen, Broncos D-line, Kirby
The
Joseph.
only Patriot to make it in was a special teamer, Brendan Schooler.
Yeah.
I know we didn't have that great a roster, but at least the Jets and Dolphins didn't have anybody go in. Tyreek Hill got snubbed. Like, a whole bunch of people got snubbed here.
I would say for the 3 quarterbacks for NFC, like the only person you could see like that Baker could probably replace in Pro Bowl, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Nobody on the Titans made in, like Jeffrey Simmons, Amani Hooker, Ryan Stonehouse.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Tony Pollard.
We'll take a look at the Pro Bowl rosters right before we end the episode. But
also
you're fine.
Wild.
Yeah, for the Buccaneers, their rushing department also was very good. Bucky Irving, 20 carries, 113 yards. A great performance from him. And Mike Evans, as always, 8 receptions, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great day for the Buccaneers in this one, dismantling the Panthers. Not much you can do as the Panthers at this point in the season, but it's good to see that Bryce Young's playing well. It seems like now some of the sentiment is starting to set in that this guy is the future. It took a while for him to get good, and hopefully he's going to be able to continue to perform well and be that quarterback that can win you games. But now you just got to put a team around him. And that starts with having an offensive line that isn't Swiss cheese.
Yep.
All right. Moving on from that.
Jesus fucking Christ.
All right. Jacksonville Jaguars and Tennessee Titans.
If you told me we're going to end the year by watching a game between Mac Jones and Mason Rudolph,
20-13, the final score. The Jags get the win at home at Everbank Stadium. Jones, 15 for 22 for 174, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 2 sacks. Brian Thomas Jr., 7 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown, as well as Parker Washington, 3 receptions, 31 yards, and a touchdown. Travis Etienne, 15 for 49. Not a great day for him. Rudolph, 19 for 31 for 193, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 3 sacks. And Tajay Spears was the lead rusher, 20 carries, 95 yards. Not anyone really received the ball overly well. Calvin Ridley, 5 for 84. Chico Conquo, 5 for 42. Nick Westbrook-Akine, 3 for 37. This was an ugly game between two teams that are struggling desperately to try to get something done. And both of them out of the playoffs, both of them with high draft picks, both of them in a horrible division. So, again, Doug Peterson has another thing to basically say, you can't fire me yet, which he should have been fired years ago even now. So, Doug Peterson clinging on for life game. Moving on.
Yep.
All right, Dolphins and Browns.
God, we get a slew of bad games.
Unbeknownst to me, I didn't even know this entering the game. I turned it on. I'm like, where the hell is Tua? I immediately started scouring the internet to see if he had gotten, destroyed.
Oh, yeah, he had some sort of hip injury or something.
Yeah, so I'm glad that he is not, his head isn't hurt, but kind of, sad for the Dolphins that, he is out, but honestly, I'm not. I wanted the Browns to win this so that, the Bengals, because if they would have done this, then it would have only meant the Chiefs had to beat the Broncos this next upcoming week, but now we also need the Jets to beat the Dolphins. So Tyler Huntley, the Pro Bowl quarterback, Tyler Huntley was in the game. He actually kind of played like a Pro Bowler. 22 for 26 for 225, a touchdown, no interceptions, and 4 sacks. He also ran the ball with the most yardage on the team, 7 for 52 and a touchdown. He looked good, very good even. On the other side of the ball, also Tyreek Hill, I should mention, 9 receptions, 105 yards with no touchdown. That's crazy. For the Browns, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, 24 for 47 for 170, no touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 sack. Not a horrible day for him, but not a great day either. Devontae Foreman, 13 for 49 on the ground. And then receiving, Jerry Jeudy, 12 for 94, as well as Jordan Atkins, 6 for 49. Again, this Miami offense is usually very good when Tua's out there. And because of the Browns' lack of defense and also Huntley being good enough, they didn't really lose too much of a beat on offense. They were able to get short passes to their playmakers and Tyreek Hill, even without Jalen Waddle on the field. And Hill was able to, get it done. He is one of the fastest guys in the NFL and slippery. So he was able to really get a lot of yards after the catch and set them up in good positions. And again, Jonnu Smith is still a very talented tight end that has really broke onto the scene this year. He would probably be the most improved player if it wasn't for a guy named Sam Darnold. Then for the Browns, their offense kind of just sputtered, never really got a good drive going. They only managed to get 3 points in this game. Dorian Thompson-Robinson still struggling. There's still weapons on this offense, even if they have some line injuries, but at the same time, not where the Browns wanted to be at the end of the season, and not a good place for them, especially defensively. This defense was supposed to be so much better, and it is not.
Did the Browns' offense never sputter this year?
There are a couple early games where they looked good, but other than that, yeah, it's been a horrible year for them. They have the possibility of finishing with 14 losses if they lose next week to the Ravens, which they most likely will. All right. Keep on chugging here. Moving on to the Packers and Vikings. Rough game for the Packers, but a good game overall as far as football terms are concerned. A 2-point game, Packers 25, Vikings 27. Jordan Love, 19 for 30 for 185 and a touchdown with 3 sacks. Josh Jacobs, 17 for 69 and a touchdown. And then receiving, no one really stood out super well. Dobbs, 7 for 58, Kraft, 2 for 53, and Wicks, 4 for 43. Moving on to the Vikings, Sam Darnold, 33 for 43 for 337, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 sack. Aaron Jones, 12 for 47 on the ground. And Justin Jefferson had a good day, 8 for 92. As well as Jalen Naylor, 5 for 81 and a touchdown, as well as Jordan Addison, 6 for 69 and a touchdown. And T.J. Hawkinson showed up well, 5 for 68 and Cam Akers also put in a touchdown, 2 for 15. Sam Darnold spread the ball around very well. He was really making it tough for Green Bay to focus in on one player. He was spreading the ball around very well, hitting a bunch of different options on many different aspects of the field. They didn't rely much on the run, probably because of the strength of the interior Green Bay defensive line that has gotten better and better as the years have gone on. Or as the year has gone on, excuse me. But again, they were able to really lace up that Packers secondary, which I feel like can be their Achilles heel at times. Their other Achilles heel is that Jordan Love with a couple bad reads. I still can't believe that's Harrison Smith. I mean, how is he not dead? Like, that guy is so old.
I could not tell you.
Yeah. Good for the Vikings to have Hawkinson back. Another great option for them to pass to alongside Jefferson and Addison and even Naylor, who's gotten better and better as the year has gone on. This Viking team still looks very scary, and being able to beat a very good team of the Packers does a very, very good job for them moving forward with momentum, being ready for this upcoming playoff push. They just have a big game against the Lions for the number 1 seed in the NFC and the NFC North champion, the toughest division in football this year. For the Packers, you just need to really shore up that defensive scheming as far as the secondary goes. Make sure you're not being able to be dotted up again like you were against the Vikings here. And then keep relying on Josh Jacobs a lot. He's been very good for you. Your O-line continues to block well for him. And you have very talented tight ends that are blocking very well and receiving very well, so make sure to use them. And those trick plays a lot because you have a lot of speedy guys on the edge. So 2 very good teams that we could see match up in a future round of the playoffs. We'll have to see how it goes, but this was
probably
a very, very high caliber game between 2 teams that could legitimately make the Super Bowl and win it. I have no trouble in saying that for the Vikings and for the Packers. I think the Packers' only losses have been some bad losses and some good losses, some losses to good teams. So
that's their only losses. Their losses are only 2 good teams: Eagles, Vikings twice, and
one of the Lions.
Detroit. Yeah. So Detroit twice, Vikings twice, and Eagles.
Yeah. They've beaten everybody but teams in their division besides the Bears. We'll have to see if they win or split with them. They sweep or split this upcoming week. But yeah, both of these teams are Super Bowl contenders. I'm not afraid to say that at all. This was a really good game as well. Falcons and the Commanders. This game, I believe, did it go into overtime?
Yes.
Yes.
It did.
For, I think, like, briefly.
Because Raheem Morris did Matt Eberflus not using his timeouts.
Yep.
24-30, the final score. The Commanders get the win on a Zach Ertz touchdown reception, sealing the game for them in overtime. Michael Penix Jr. 19 for 35 for 233, a touchdown, a pick, and 2 sacks. Bijan Robinson 17 for 90 on the ground with 2 touchdowns, and then receiving Drake London 7 for 106, as well as Kyle Pitts 4 for 41 and a touchdown. Moving on to the Commanders, Jaden Daniels 24 for 36 for 227, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and 5 sacks. Jaden Daniels also was their lead rusher, 16 carries, 127 yards.
That's goodness,
crazy. A lot of those were designed, as in this read option play that obviously turned into an RPO. Brian Robinson was their main running back.
Zacchaeus got the touchdown there.
Yep. Olamide Zacchaeus was their lead receiver, 8 for 85 and a touchdown. No more saying who for him. We know who he is now. Zach Ertz, 6 for 72 and 2 touchdowns, and Jameson Crowder, 3 for 25. Obviously, at the end of the game, the failure to use timeouts from the Atlanta Falcons was horrible, and the lack of Younghoe Koo on a field goal that could have won the game for them at the very end of the game, I believe right here. As you can see, this is a 56-yard field goal. In Koo's range, I believe, but this was not.
It is, Koo. But at the same time,
this was Riley Patterson. And it had the accuracy, but not the distance. Fell about, I don't know, what would you say, about 10 yards short?
I'd say...
Within 10 yards, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say about 5 yards.
So I think Koo could have hit that. Then I believe the Commanders got the ball first and then just never looked back.
Yep, matriculated all the way down the field. Yep.
I will say, though, late in the game here, it's... Where is it? 7-point game. Michael Penix has to lead this team down the field. And it's 4th and goal. They're backed up real far. They're at the 15, 16, or 14, 13-yard line.
You're blocking the clock, so I assume this was with basically no time left.
1 minute and 23 seconds left. Right across the middle. Real gutsy play by Michael Penix.
I have no idea how Pitts made that catch.
Yeah. Michael Penix looks very... I mean, only played in a couple games, and it looks like they honestly... All besides that absolute show from Kirk Cousins in like week 4.
Basically triple coverage. Holy shit.
An absolute dart. Like the speed behind that ball was insane.
Yeah. Crazy.
Michael Penix looks very good. We might see him in a playoff game. If they win this next week and the Buccaneers lose, you're going to see Michael Penix playing in a playoff game. We'll see how that does for him. He looks solid. Looks very good. Not making a ton of mistakes. He obviously had 1 interception here, but nothing horrible. I think they're going to go with him moving forward unless something horrendous happens, but he's starting to look better and better. But it was just not enough to beat the Commanders. The lack of Younghoe Koo there and a couple missed timeout calls were horrendous for the Falcons, and cost them the game. But yeah, great play by the Commanders and being able to get it done and build some momentum getting into the playoffs. All right. Last and quite possibly least, this was a weird game. The 49ers managed to stay in this game. Everyone thought they were going to roll over. They didn't. 40-34, the final score.
I mean, 16 players on defense on the IR.
Yeah, it was going to be a shootout. Jared Goff, 26 for 34 for 303 and 3 touchdowns and 2 sacks. Jahmyr Gibbs, 18 for 117 and a touchdown on the ground. Jameson Williams receiving 5 for 77 and a touchdown. Laporta, 6 for 64 and a touchdown. Amon-Ra, 8 for 60 and a touchdown. For the 49ers, Brock Purdy, 27 for 35 for 337, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 2 sacks. Rushing, Isaac Rendo, 9 for 34. Receiving, Ricky Pearsall, 8 for 141 and a touchdown. And George Kittle, 8 for 112. Great day for both of them receiving. This was just came down to the end. Obviously, this is just not the Niners' year. They're struggling with injuries. No Christian McCaffrey. No Greg Jennings. Juwan Jennings, not Greg Jennings. Defensive injuries, defensive walkouts. They're missing Trent Williams. But also the Lions are struggling defensively because of injuries as well. So this kind of balanced things out in a way. So it became a shootout, and it's one that the Lions won with the strength of their offense and play calling through Dan Campbell. Any thoughts on this game at all?
Not really. I mean, the better team won, even though the Lions are banged up to hell and back. But
would you be concerned if you're a Lions fan about going into the playoff with your defense looking like this?
Oh, 100%. I mean, like you lost basically all of your major playmakers and starters to start the year have been or are on IR. Some will not be ready by playoff time. I mean, Alex Anzalone is still questionable, well, even though his arm, from the sounds of it, is basically healed up. So, I mean, they could overcome all of that, and my point here would be moot, but it's definitely at least DEFCON 3 of concerns for Detroit right now.
It'll be a big test for them to go in and play Minnesota next week, or this week, I should say, figuring out what they're going to do and how they're going to be able to stop this oncoming offense.
I think what's going to help them coaching, and also they do have playoff experience.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that guy right there should be able to help him if he doesn't get his kicks blocked.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that was just a block kick.
That was just bad luck there.
I could totally see Jake Bates having an Ed McPherson performance in the playoffs with some crazy kicks. All right.
Oh, for sure.
That wraps up our coverage of last week's games. Let's quickly take a look at the Pro Bowl roster. So we can take a look at that real quick. AFC, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Those are all that makes sense. Caliber guys. Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor. Totally agree there.
Yeah.
Fullback, Patrick Ricard, Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. The only other person I could see would be
the Chargers.
No, he's been good, but not as good as Patrick Ricard or Dolphins guy.
A-Chain.
No. Fullback.
He's not a fullback. Juszczyk?
No, not Juszczyk. He's up.
No, Juszczyk's not on the. Is Juszczyk? I don't even think Juszczyk's on.
He's on the 49ers.
Right now.
He's on the 49ers. Oh god, I don't know.
Fuck, I'm blanking out now.
Alec Ingold.
Okay.
Alec Ingold.
Okay. Right.
Wide receivers: Jamar Chase, Jerry Jeudy, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers. I like Jamar Chase. Like Jerry Jeudy. Nico Collins is okay. Zay Flowers is absolutely horrendous. Why the fuck is he on that list over Brian Thompson Jr.? Brian Thompson Jr. has more receptions, yards, and touchdowns than Flowers and Collins combined. Horrible pick. Tight end, Brock Bowers, absolutely. Travis Kelce.
Duke Tobin.
That was just a fan's.
That was a fan pick. Again, I don't like this being a fan vote, but it's not the All-Pro team, so I guess. Offensive tackles, Deion Dawkins, Laremy Tunsil, Rashawn Slater. Tunsil's a little odd.
Yeah,
Dawkins is amazing.
A little bit, yeah.
Slater for the Chargers is awesome. Tunsil, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Also, what I could thought of for take over Travis Kelce's spot for tight end, Jonnu Smith.
100%. I would.
Yes.
In a second.
He's got it. Like Smith has got to be in the opt-outs if he's not in the actual slot, right?
Yeah.
Like interchangeables.
Hopefully.
Sure. Yeah.
Quentin Nelson for offensive guard, yes. Joe Tooney, yes. Trey Smith.
I don't know about him, honestly.
He's not as good as Tooney and Nelson. He's not on that same level. I'm trying to think of another. It might just be because they don't think there's anybody else of that caliber.
Going down to centers, though, I have no qualms about either of you guys. Creed Humphrey, Tyler Linderbaum. Teller is a good third option.
Please. But I thought he's a tackle. Not a guard.
No. Teller.
Is Joe Alt a tackle?
Joe Alt's a left tackle.
Also, wasn't Wyatt Teller hurt for a bit?
Yeah, he's a guard. Wyatt Teller, he's been hurt a little bit.
Oh, maybe he is.
That could be
maybe
why.
He's just not going to be
really
ready.
Two Chiefs. Center Creed Humphrey and Tyler
there's
Lindenbaum.
A lot of Chiefs on this roster.
Creed Humphrey and Tyler Lindenbaum are both amazing. Defense. Myles Garrett, Trey Anderson, Max Crosby. That's all right. I like that pick. Interior lineman, Cameron Hayward, Chris Jones, Nikita Matabuke. Sorry.
Justin Madubuike. He changed his name in the offseason.
Matabuke should not be there. That interior guy should.
He had a good run last year. This year, not so much.
Denver interior O-line guy. I can't remember his name. White guy.
I'm just going to be biased here and say Dietrich Wise should also be in here.
Zach Allen. Zach Allen should be over Matabuke 100%. Outside linebacker, Nick Pitino on the Broncos, TJ Watt on the Steelers, and Khalil Mack on the Chargers. Love that list. That's good.
Watt, I have no argument there. Mack and Pitino, that's
Mack's
acceptable.
been good. Chargers are the leading scoring defense, and he's also looked good. And Pitino is on the Broncos, who have also been a very good defense. Interior linemen, or linebackers, say Roquan Smith on the Ravens and Zaire Franklin on the Colts. Both really talented guys, really good. Quarterback, Singletary Jr. on the Texans, Sertan on the Broncos, Humphrey on the Ravens, and Ward on the Browns. Solid list.
No Christian Gonzalez, really?
Yeah, I could see him being put over, maybe Marlon Humphrey, but Humphrey's also looked good. He's just had some injuries. Minka Fitzpatrick as a safety for the Steelers, and Kyle Hamilton on the Ravens, and Derwin James on the Chargers. All right. Long snapper, Ross Matchstick, no idea. Punter, Logan Cook of the Jaguars. I still think Matt Azaria from the Chiefs. Or who's the punter for the Titans?
The Chiefs have enough people in there right now, I feel like.
Sure.
Stonehouse.
Stonehouse as well there. Place kicker Chris Boswell for the Steelers. It's either him or Dicker, but Chris Boswell looked very good.
Yep.
Return specialist Marvin Mims Jr. of the Denver Broncos, and then special teamer Brendan Stewart of the Patriots. Very, very solid. Now let me just look up the NFC.
Wait. No, go down.
Go back down a little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh,
there you go.
Oops. All right, NFC. So, quarterbacks, Goff, Daniels, Darnold. I don't like Daniels over Mayfield. He's been good, but I don't think he's been as good as Mayfield. Especially mid-season.
I would say if I were to switch out, it would be Daniels over Mayfield, but it's nothing against Daniels.
Yeah. Can't fault anything on this running back list. Barkley, Gibbs, Jacobs, great. Kyle Juszczyk, also one of the best fullbacks in the league, if not the best. Wide receiver,
correct.
Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin. CD has only been hurt in the latter part of the season, so that's fine. Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, I think he's actually out for the remainder of the year. So
Terry McLaurin's a little odd, but okay.
I'm trying to think what could be an interchangeable piece for here right now.
Malik Neighbors.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, yes. That would have been nice.
George Kittle and Trey McBride, both good tight ends.
Yeah, no argument there. Maybe McBride probably start over Kittle. That's my opinion, but
Kittle's a better player. Kyle Shanahan doesn't realize he's on his team. I feel like half the time Kyle Shanahan's like, "Oh shit, we have George Kittle," and runs a play, and then forgets about him 2 plays later. Offensive tackles: Lane Johnson, Penny Sewell, Tristan Wirfs, some of the best guys in the league right now.
Yes.
Offensive guard: Landon Dickerson, Tyler Smith, Chris Lindstrom, also very good. Dickerson for the Eagles.
I think Smith is actually hurt.
Maybe.
So
for the Falcons, this is good for him to get on there.
Yeah.
And then Frank Ragnow and Cam Jurgens, both very deserving centers for this list. Defensive ends, Nick Bosa for the 49ers, Micah Parsons, and Rashawn Gary. Great for them there.
Yeah.
Interior linemen, Jalen Carter, Dexter Lawrence, and Vita Vea. Can't complain with that list.
Oh my God, big guys. The big Vita Vea and Jalen Carter.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge line. Outside linebacker, Jonathan Greenard, Andrew Van Geikel, and Jared Verse. 2 Minnesota guys, very well deserving. Interior linebackers.
Ginkel had that breakout year with the Dolphins last year, and he's been carrying it right over to Minnesota.
Fred Warner and Zach Braun for interior linebackers.
Zach Braun?
For the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
It's a little odd.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone
perhaps a little strange?
Corners, Jalen Johnson, Brian Murphy, J.C. Horn, and Devin Witherspoon.
Okay, that one, I just going to be a little bit biased. I kind of want Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah.
Quinyon Mitchell would make sense here. I'd say, who would you switch out, though?
AJ Terrell, too, over Dion Witherspoon in a minute.
Yes. I don't know how AJ Terrell didn't make this, actually, now you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Xavier McKinney for the Green Bay Packers as a free safety, then strong safety, Buda Baker, and Brian Branch. Moving on to the special teams, Andrew DePola from the Vikings as a long snapper, punter Jake Fox from the Lions, Brendan Aubrey from the Cowboys. I would argue that Jake Bates has looked better this season. Return specialist Kevontae Turpin and special teamer Daryl Hodge. It'd be so
basically
cool.
Entire special teams.
It would be so cool if a guy went from the XFL to a Pro Bowler just like that.
Yeah,
Oh, it'd be nice.
For place kicker, you can make an argument for either Bates or Aubrey.
Does it list for interchangeables?
No, not yet. Snubs, it said obviously Cooper DeJean, James Cook. I could kind of see that, but that's a stacked running back room in the
Kyron Williams.
Just like
that's
Kyron Williams,
kind of a
stacked.
Kyron Williams, it was stacked.
That's a
Jonnu Smith is a definite snub.
Yes, we mentioned that. Caden Ellis, linebacker for the Falcons. Yeah, we talked about that.
Mayfield
we mentioned Mayfield. Brian Thomas Jr.
is a highway robbery. Zach Allen's also a highway robbery.
Yep.
Kirby
Joseph. I forgot about him.
That is Grand Theft Auto. And
well, who's number 1 then? Daniil Hunter.
That's right. He is actually having a decent year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty big snub actually.
So
and maybe somebody will opt out, and some of these guys will actually get a chance in though.
A lot of them will opt out, so they'll probably have a chance.
For Kyrie and James Cook, that's kind of rough to try to put in because that running back is just stacked.
Yeah, it is very stacked roster, but long episode. So it's one of the last 2 weeks of every single team playing. So soon enough, we'll be making the episode a lot shorter, a lot quicker. But thank you for sticking around. Thank you to also KF and Masson for sticking around a little bit later. I know it's a very late episode, but make sure you guys enjoy football. The regular season's coming to a close. Some of your teams might be playing their last game of the season. I certainly hope my Bengals are. So there's still hope. There's still a sliver of hope. So cling on to that. Enjoy football. It's sadly coming to a close, but the best is yet to come with the playoffs just around the bend. Enjoy college football as the semifinals are just around the corner now. And most importantly, run the damn ball. Have a good night.
Stay cold for MVP.
Mayo Bowl. Mayo Bowl.